Just started university, and my beautiful tutor turns out to be the mother of my child. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1526. Teacher Li likes Yuxi very much. The second floor venue. Students who were late for class started to run as punishment. Teacher Li also wanted to run to let them exercise further. After all, many students nowadays don't like to exercise. Especially the life of college students is more colorful and free. Except for the time of professional courses, the rest of the time is free to range. There are very few restrictions, because after all, most of the college period relies on independent learning ability. There are few teachers to supervise you or urge you to study. It is completely based on the subjective consciousness of your spare time. So every year some college students waste their time. Do some meaningless things. They are even more reluctant to exercise their bodies through sports. Either eat, drink and have fun, or stay in the dormitory to chase dramas and play games. But some students are still more conscious. Self-disciplined students will still take some time to exercise, even if it is playing ball. Therefore, as a physical education teacher, Li Feng, of course, attaches more importance to sports. After all, in the eyes of physical education teachers, how can you fight on the road to the future without a strong body? There is no poetry in distance. It's just that today, Teacher Li Feng has become a little more serious. Maybe it's because the final exam is approaching, so he has become strict. Yes, sometimes he is very easy to talk to. I don't know what happened today. Suanna also said in a low voice. Luckily Yuxi reminded us of the time. Otherwise, we would be the ones running now. Stay on time. It's a close call. Li said. SHH. Stop talking. Teacher Li seems to be in a bad mood today. Try to talk less. Zhang Yuxi reminded in a low voice. It should be because of the preparation for the exam. If not this time, it should be next week. Suanna said in a low voice. SHH. Xiaoyu reminded. At this time, Teacher Li Feng, the badminton class, slowly walked over. Come on, start calling the roll now. Teacher Li Feng said. Liu Dan. Here. Yang Lina. Here. Peng Wenji. Here. Zhang Rui. Here. Li Yi. Here. Liu Jiajia. Here. Chen Weifeng. Here. Suanna. Here. Zhang Yuxi. Here. Teacher Li Feng called the roll one by one, and the students whose names were called responded one by one. He would keep a record of the students who did not come or were late. The students who did not come would definitely have their credit points deducted, and there was no need to discuss this. Unless they asked for leave in advance and explained the situation to the teacher. After a while, the roll call was over, and the students who were punished for being late also finished running. You can move freely first. Practice the movements that need to be tested. Teacher Li Feng said. If there is any difference, you can ask Zhang Yuxi for advice. She is quite good in this aspect. Then, Teacher Li continued to speak. Because after almost a semester of study, and the teacher's observation, Zhang Yuxi is indeed better than other students, and her learning ability is also particularly strong. When playing badminton, she is also quite professional. It is just a hobby, and she doesn't play badminton often. To be able to reach this level is already an outstanding one. Even Teacher Li Feng was shocked by Zhang Yuxi for the first time. Among so many students he taught, whether male or female, Zhang Yuxi is the most conscious student. Naturally, she also got more favor from Teacher Li Feng. Therefore, when Teacher Li couldn't take care of all the students during class, he would ask Zhang Yuxi to teach other students, so that some students would naturally ask Zhang Yuxi for advice. After all, Zhang Yuxi's popularity in the whole school is still very high. Almost all students know Zhang Yuxi. Although there are many departments in the university, and each department has a lot of students, then it is conceivable how many students there are in the whole school. Even so, the two names of Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi are almost known to everyone in the whole school. After all, Lin Feng is so talented and capable, and he has hundreds of millions at a young age. There will be more and more, and hundreds of billions of assets will be easy. So who doesn't know? Zhang Yuxi stood out among so many students in the school. She had excellent academic performance and was a school beauty. She and Lin Feng were a perfect match. So, Even if you haven't seen Zhang Yuxi in person, you must have heard of this girl. After all, the university is too big and there are so many students. It's only been one semester now, so it's normal that many students haven't seen her. Because activities or other things are usually organized by department, everyone in the department must know each other. Zhang Yuxi, please work hard for a while. Because I have to take the exam too. Teacher Lin Feng said to Zhang Yuxi before leaving. Okay. It's okay, teacher. Zhang Yuxi responded politely. Then Zhang Yuxi started training with a large group of students. Teacher Lin Feng walked in front of a small group of students who were late and had just finished running. I think Teacher Li likes Yuxi very much. Ho ha ho ha. Xiaoyu laughed. That's a must. It seems that there is no teacher who doesn't like Yuxi. Li Yer said. You are good at studying, so the teacher will like you too. And Yuxi is also good at playing badminton. The teacher will definitely like you. Suana said. Oh, you guys. It's just that I'm a little better. So the teacher is like this, it's not about whether she likes you or not. Zhang Yuxi explained. No, the teacher really likes you. Look at the teachers of each subject. Even the counselor is like that. Our class monitor doesn't like you that much, she likes Yuxi the most. Li Yer said proudly. After all, they are her sisters, so she must be proud of them. Yes, yes, yes. I think so too. In fact, the whole class thinks so. In theory, the class monitor should be more concerned. But look at our counselor. He often asks about Yuxi's well-being. He cares about Yuxi especially. Xiaoyu said excitedly. Pucci. Needless to say, Yuxi's academic performance is the best in the entire department. And she is excellent in every aspect. She has strong comprehensive abilities. The counselor must be very supportive of her. Suana smiled and said. Chapter 1527. Remember what I said today. This is indeed the case. Zhang Yuxi is loved by all teachers, and it can be said that this has been the case since she was a child. Every teacher knows Zhang Yuxi. Logically speaking, in college, it is impossible for every teacher to remember the name. Because in college, there are really too many students that each teacher needs to teach, and it is impossible to remember so many students. Maybe at most, they can only remember the monitor of the class. And some teachers teach countless classes, and even have classes across departments. How can they remember all the students? Generally, they only remember the class leaders or students with more characteristics. So why do we say that colleges mainly rely on independent learning ability? Because many teachers leave after class, there are few opportunities to have a lot of contact with teachers. Unlike junior high school and high school, teachers are always following behind. It seems that they are chasing students to learn. In college, everything is free, not too restricted, and relatively free. And the fact that every teacher likes Zhang Yuxi is enough to show how good Zhang Yuxi is. Her learning ability in every subject is very outstanding. Because her academic performance is really good. Sometimes it's ridiculous. She is not only excellent in study, but also in all aspects. The most important thing in college is comprehensive ability. Whether it is learning, sports, art, clubs, or various activities in class, etc. Zhang Yuxi is the best in the class, even in the entire department. She is among the best in the whole school. So how can the counselor and teachers of various subjects not like her? For Zhang Yuxi, this is too normal. It has been like this since she was a child, as always, she has long been accustomed to it. But Zhang Yuxi is still as humble as ever, and she is not proud of her own superior conditions. This is why she can become a best friend with her roommate. Because she is also a very good girl to get along with, and she is not arrogant because of her excellence. It's just because her beauty often gives people an illusion that people dare not contact her. In fact, she is a very easy to approach person. It can be said that learning, beauty, and talent are all in one. So in the eyes of classmates in the class, they also praised Zhang Yuxi. The popularity is also very good. Female classmates also like her very much. Of course, there will definitely be people who are jealous of Lin Feng because he is with her. They are jealous of her excellence. Not only does she have good grades, but she is also so beautiful. This will definitely make some girls jealous. But most girls like her very much. Not to mention the boys. Zhang Yuxi is their dream girl. The boys are jealous of Lin Feng. After all, who doesn't want such an excellent and beautiful girl to be their girlfriend? There is no boy in the school who doesn't know Zhang Yuxi. She is the object of their dreams. It is out of reach. How can it be so exaggerated? It's okay. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. We are not exaggerating. This is the truth, my goddess. This is a fact that everyone knows. Suanna said excitedly. Ha 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 ha. So because of Yuxi, we are all famous. Li Yi laughed. Ha 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 ha. Funny. That's true. Xiaoyu also laughed and said. Okay, hurry up and practice. If you say anything else, you'll be punished by Teacher Li. Zhang Yuxi said. Meanwhile, Teacher Li Qing on the other side was teaching a group of students who were late. There were both male and female students. Next week is the last physical education class. Can you not be late? Teacher Li Qing said with a serious face. Yes. 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 A group of students responded sparsely. Why did I hear yes? So you are not confident. If you are late again, you will be disqualified from the exam. Teacher Li Qing said. Yes. Yes. Definitely. Then these students responded with a firm answer. When Teacher Li mentioned that they would be disqualified from the exam for being late, everyone panicked and responded immediately and firmly. Wait until you enter the society. You will thank me when you think back to today. Maybe some students will hate me now. It doesn't matter, you will know when you start working, it will be more cruel than now. So you must have a sense of time. Teacher Li Qing taught very seriously. Teacher, no. We don't hate you. Yes, teacher, you are still very funny when you are humorous. Teacher, you are just a little less handsome now when you are serious. Ho ha ho ha. Comma, these students all chattered. Teacher Li Qing was also amused by this group of naughty students. It is really good to be young. Students of this age already look a little like adults. But they can only be unbridled for a few years. After graduation, they will not be able to do what they want as easily as they are now at this age. So Teacher Li Qing came here and also as a teacher. He did not care too much with the students. After all, he had taught what he should teach and said what he should say. Next, it depends on these young people to experience it by themselves. Only if you practice and experience it yourself, otherwise no matter how much you say, it will be useless. Okay. Go back and practice the ball quickly. Practice well. Don't fail the exam next week. Teacher Li Qing said slowly. Don't worry, Teacher Li. Everyone passed. Don't you see which teacher taught you? Some naughty male students said one after another. You little brat. Remember what I said today. But don't come to me when the time comes. Teacher Li Qing smiled and said. That won't work. You still have to find me. Teacher Li, have you forgotten what I just said? The male student said. Hurry up and go practice. You're such a chatterbox. Teacher Li Qing said deliberately jokingly. Then these latecomers also took their rackets and joined the practice team. At this moment, Zhang Yuxi was also happily practicing with several of her girlfriends. Teacher Li Qing was guiding the boys to practice, while the girls were all around Zhang Yuxi. In fact, the boys also wanted to get close to Zhang Yuxi, but Teacher Li asked the boys and girls to practice separately. Because there were too many students, Teacher Li couldn't guide too many students, so he separated the boys and girls for guidance. Let Zhang Yuxi be responsible for some of the students, that is, the girls, and Teacher Li be responsible for the boys. Of course, this is only during training. Students can form teams and play together, and both male and female students can partner up. Chapter 1528, in Xiao's camp, but hard in Han. Zhang Yuxi, can you teach us? A long-haired girl came over and asked. Sure, Zhang Yuxi answered gently. Thank you. The long-haired girl smiled and said. You're welcome, come on. Zhang Yuxi said generously. So she stopped immediately, because she was just playing with her girlfriends. Anna, do you guys play first, or what? I'll play with them for a while. Zhang Yuxi said to Suanna. Then let's learn too. Okay. Before Suanna could speak, Li Yi said excitedly. Sure. Let's play along. Xiaoyu also said. Okay. Suanna said cheerfully. You guys all know how to do it. Why don't you play by yourselves? Zhang Yuxi said. After all, of course, when she chose physical education classes, she chose badminton because these girlfriends strongly requested it. Because they are almost interested in badminton, and they know a little bit. So Zhang Yuxi chose badminton class because of her girlfriends. Naturally, these girlfriends learn quickly and basically know how to play. After all, it is something they are interested in, so it is easier to learn. It's just that they are not as good as Zhang Yuxi in all aspects. But they basically know how to play in the exam. It's boring for the three of us to play. 4 is just right. Since you want to teach them, let's play together. Xiaoyu smiled and said. Then come together. Help me by the way. Teach them together. Zhang Yuxi said. Afterwards, Zhang Yuxi took a few girlfriends to teach other female classmates. Although the male classmates on the other side were a few meters away and in another venue, but their eyes still looked at Zhang Yuxi from time to time. It's really the so-called being in CAO's camp, but the heart is in Han. After all, it is a very rare and lucky thing to have this opportunity to get in touch with a school beauty so closely. How can I not take a few glances? And there is only one physical education class a week. You can imagine how rare the opportunity is. All the male students were attracted by Zhang Yuxi's beauty. They had no intention to practice, and their eyes always looked at Zhang Yuxi unconsciously. Teacher Li Qing saw all the little thoughts of the male students and knew what they were thinking. Okay. Stop looking. You stinky boys. Li Qing said. Ha. You don't understand, teacher. If you don't take advantage of now to look more, you will have no chance. A fat male student said. Yes, teacher, this is a rare opportunity. After all, beauties are all the same. School beauties are 1 in a million. Another tall male student said jokingly. Tisk. Don't even think about it. You really don't deserve her. Teacher Li Qing said deliberately teasingly. Because when these students knew that they were in the same class with Zhang Yuxi for physical education, they were very excited. The female students were also very excited. After all, who doesn't love beautiful women? So these male students are even more excited. Physical education classes once a week are mandatory and they are impossible to miss. Just to see more of Zhang Yuxi, who is at the school beauty level. Although she already belongs to Lin Feng, it would be good to see such a goddess. And these students like Zhang Yuxi, teacher Li Qing also knows it. He also knows what these male students are thinking. So these male students often joke with teacher Li Qing. After all, teacher Li is not very old, only 29 years old. There is little difference in age between him and these students, and there is no generation gap between him and these male students. It's like getting along with people of the same age, and the relationship is very harmonious. So teacher Li Qing often jokes with him. This. Brotherly. That hurts my feelings. What if? You still have to have dreams. The fat male student smiled and said. Because they have a good relationship with teacher Li Qing, sometimes they call the teacher brotherly. It's a bit like calling brothers. After all, the age difference is not big. Ha. The fat man is right. The male students all laughed. Don't hit us, okay? It's impossible to find a girlfriend like the school beauty. It's okay to be second only to her. The male student said. Yes. You still have to pursue something. Although I don't look that good. The fat man said self-deprecatingly. Ha. Teacher, fat people have pursuits. We must. The tall male student followed suit. Teacher Li Qing also laughed after hearing what these male students said. After all, these students are in the prime at this age. It's the best time to fall in love. It's completely understandable to have this idea and mood. After all, youth only comes once. Maybe at his age, it's not so easy to fall in love. The age is neither too old nor too young. It's almost the age of 30. There are too many things to consider. And love at this age will not be so pure. It's difficult to encounter this simple and beautiful love after leaving the campus and entering the society. Unlike them who are only about 20 years old now, they don't have to consider anything. As long as they like it, it's enough. And campus-style love is simple and pure, and it will be very beautiful when you look back in the future. It's all part of your youth, all a part of youth. So to be honest, teacher Li Qing still envies these students very much. Although their present is also his past. He also went through this journey. So teacher Li Qing can better understand the psychology of these male students. Cherish your campus time. If you can have a relationship, then have one. These are all your precious experiences. Teacher Li Qing said. How can it be so easy? I want to have a relationship. I can't get her. The fat man shook his head and said. Brother Li, you said exactly the same thing as our sociology teacher. Both encouraged us to have a relationship. It is said that it can train our emotional intelligence. A male student said. Yes. I also chose that elective course. Then the teacher said that when you are in college, You can have a relationship. It is also beneficial. It is all experience. The two male students also said excitedly. You can have a relationship. Just don't delay your studies. Just don't fail the course. Li Feng smiled and said, if you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelists. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 1529. It's true that comparing yourself with others makes you feel pissed. Teacher, if you don't have a relationship, you can only play games every day. I'm envious of my roommates going out on dates. The fat guy said. It's not always good. I see them quarreling all the time, which is also a headache. The tall male student said. That's your problem. How not to make your girlfriend angry is also a skill. Teacher Li Feng said. Don't just talk. Practice the ball too. Then Teacher Li continued to speak. Don't worry, Teacher Li. We are determined to pass the exam. A male student said proudly. By the way, Brother Li, do you have any experience to share with us? How to make your girlfriend not angry? A dark-skinned male student said. Ha. Because he has a girlfriend. That's why he asked this question. The dark-skinned male student's roommate said. Oh, that's fine. Are you the only one with a girlfriend among these male students? But you asked the wrong person. I don't have any experience either. Teacher Li Feng smiled and said. Teacher Li, you have no experience. Why didn't you hurry up and have a relationship when you were in school? Do you regret it now? The fat guy deliberately joked. Yes, Teacher Li, you are so handsome and you haven't had a relationship. Which girl is blind? The tall male classmate also deliberately teased. Ha. Then the male classmates all laughed. Look, this guy who is so dark has found one. Teacher, you are so handsome and you are good at playing basketball. Shouldn't the ladies line up to pursue you? The dark-skinned male classmate's roommate teased. Get lost. Teacher, he's envious of me. The dark-skinned male classmate said. I quarrel with my girlfriend every day. I make phone calls in the dormitory every day. I don't envy him. I am a little afraid of falling in love now. It's all because of you. The dark-skinned male classmate's roommate teased. So isn't this to ask Teacher Li for advice? To learn from him, ha. The dark-skinned male classmate laughed. Then you should ask Lin Feng, the great man in our school. The boyfriend of the school beauty. The fat man said on the side. Indeed, I heard about it. But he should be her fiancé, right? He's already engaged. The tall male classmate said. Lin Feng. The teachers in our school admire him very much. Almost no teacher doesn't know him. He has achieved a lot at such a young age. There should be no one who can be compared with him. He is indeed a great man. Teacher Li Feng also praised. After all, Lin Feng's great achievements are known to everyone in the school. He has good academic performance, is rich, powerful, has status and talent. All good things are related to Lin Feng. Because he is too outstanding. All the teachers and students in the whole school know Lin Feng. It can be said that Lin Feng is a great man in the school. In addition, the fact that he is with his school beauty Zhang Yuxi makes him the object of everyone's envy. Yes, I heard that Lin Feng is very good to the school belle. They said that Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi have never quarreled when they are together. Not even once. Isn't that awesome? The fat man said. Damn. Then you have to reach Lin Feng's level first. I'm still a bit rubbish. I still have some self-knowledge. The dark-skinned male student laughed at himself. Lin Feng is rich and capable. What do we have? Nothing. So it's normal for him to quarrel with his girlfriend. Another male student said. He is not only rich and capable. It's mainly because he is rich, but also very good to his girlfriend. And I heard that Zhang Yuxi has a very good personality. She is also a very outstanding girl. Lin Feng must spoil her well. The fat man said on the side. Okay. I'm getting off topic. Teacher Li Feng said. First of all, acknowledge the excellence of others. Then motivate yourself to become excellent. Learn more. Emotions are not the same for everyone. Then Teacher Li continued to speak. It's not Teacher Li. Lin Feng is so awesome. I wish we could be half as good as him. Comparison is really annoying. The dark-skinned male student said. I'm not asking you to compare yourself with others. At least take them as your goal and then make yourself work hard. After all, Lin Feng's excellence is obvious to all. Not to mention his attitude towards love. All our teachers know. How good is his relationship with Zhang Yuxi? Teacher Li Qing said slowly. After all, Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi's relationship is not only known to the students in the school, but also to the teachers. Because the teachers also heard about it from the students, and some teachers even saw it with their own eyes. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi can be said to be a model couple in the school. A real handsome man and a beautiful woman, both of them are very outstanding. So the teachers all raised their hands to agree with Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi's relationship. They are also very supportive. They are even used as models for classes by teachers of sociology or human nature. There are even many female teachers who are CP fans of Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi behind their backs. So teacher Li Qing naturally knew how Lin Feng treated Zhang Yuxi. Well, in the end, it's because of no money. It's hard to deal with it, said the dark-skinned male student. Okay. You will be even worse when you fail the course if you don't study hard. What are you thinking about? Teacher Li Qing said. Practice hard. I'll go see the girls. Don't just chat. Don't look for me if you don't pass the exam next week. Teacher Li Qing continued to speak. On the other side, Zhang Yuxi was practicing with her girlfriends and the female classmates. Zhang Yuxi, you are really beautiful, said the female classmate who helped with a ponytail. I think so too. Your skin is so white. And your skin is so good. There is not even a pore. The short female classmate said with envy. Zhang Yuxi suddenly felt a little embarrassed by the sudden praise from the female classmates. It's okay. Zhang Yuxi could only smile awkwardly in response. In fact, she has heard these words countless times. From the first physical education class, everyone knew that they were taking badminton classes in the same class as Zhang Yuxi. Every classmate was extremely excited. Some of them were relatively calm because they were classmates. But people from other classes were particularly excited. No one expected to take badminton classes in the same class as Zhang Yuxi. The girls were so close to the goddess that they naturally all looked at her with envy. Not to mention the boys, because they could take physical education classes with Zhang Yuxi, which they could talk about with other male students in the class for a semester. And when Zhang Yuxi took the class for the first time, everyone's attention was on Zhang Yuxi. As long as the girls had the opportunity to contact her, they would praise her in various ways. So Zhang Yuxi was no longer surprised by this kind of scene. But the girls' praise could not stop, and they often approached Zhang Yuxi from time to time to flatter her. These girls really liked Zhang Yuxi. After all, who doesn't like such a beautiful girl? She has a very good personality, speaks politely, and is always gentle and polite. What's the point? What girls envy the most is Zhang Yuxi's amazing skin. It's really fair and rosy, with smooth and delicate skin without a single pore. Even her hair is attractive. Her long black hair reaches her waist, and the weight is amazing. Who wouldn't envy such a girl? They all fantasize that one day, they can become a beautiful and outstanding girl like Zhang Yuxi. Chapter 1530 The Most Beautiful Dormitory. You are really pretty. More than good. So far, I have never seen anyone prettier than you. The girl with short hair said with envy. Yes. From the bottom of my heart, Zhang Yuxi, you are really pretty. I always tell my roommates about you after physical education class. My roommates like you very much too. The short girl next to her said. I envy you. You are pretty, excellent, and have good grades. Another girl also said. Everyone has their own advantages. Don't envy me. You are also very good. I am not as good as you think. Zhang Yuxi said slowly. She could only say this, and she had said these words many times. Because classmates often said a lot of praise and envy to her. And since the physical education class, a group of female classmates often surrounded her and started to say a lot of things. Zhang Yuxi always answered politely. Even some girls who were very inferior and lacked confidence, Zhang Yuxi would encourage these girls with her words. Although these words may not be of much use to them, after all, self-confidence is something that you have to fight for yourself. Become better and better, recognize yourself, and slowly you will have confidence. And many times, inferiority complex is caused by your own mentality, and you like to compare yourself with others. So the best way is to be yourself, compare yourself with yourself, make a little progress every day, and be better today than yesterday. Attitude is important. Just like a person's appearance is innate, it is destined from the moment of birth. It is given by your parents, so everyone is unique. The only thing you can work hard on is to change your internal and external things through acquired efforts. Make your spiritual world richer. Slowly, you become more and more confident, and your appearance will slowly become more elegant. It's normal to have these thoughts. Ha 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 ha. I often have them too. At this time, Li, who was standing aside, laughed and said, "We can all understand your feelings. After all, our Yuxi is really too outstanding." Xiaoyu also said, "But it doesn't stop us from becoming good friends with her. We are lucky to be roommates with Yuxi." Suanna smiled and said, "But, your dormitory is really good looking. You guys are also very beautiful. Now your dormitory can be said to be the most beautiful dormitory in the whole school." The female classmate with short hair said, "But it is true that Zhang Yuxi's roommates and best friends are also very beautiful, so it is indeed a dormitory with particularly high appearance in the school." "Yes, I think so too. You have a good figure. You are tall. You look good in any dress. Unlike me, I am short." The short female classmate said. Zhang Yuxi's best friends couldn't help laughing when they heard these girls say this. Ha 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 ha. "This is all thanks to Yuxi. Let us have the honor of becoming the most beautiful dormitory in the school." Li said with a smile on her face. "That's right. Yuxi has raised our average level." Suanna also said, Hey, you guys. People are praising you. Why are you talking about me? You think you are not good looking? Will Lin Feng's brothers pursue you?" Zhang Yuxi deliberately said to her girlfriends in a joking manner. "Maybe it's because of our inner qualities." Ha ha ha. Li said jokingly. "It shouldn't be maybe, right? They definitely think we are not good looking enough, so they make up for it with our inner qualities." Xiaoyu also smiled and said, "Why do I think it's because of Yuxi? After all, Lin Feng is with Yuxi. They also thought that since they are all Yuxi's roommates, they would try to pursue her. I didn't expect it to work. Hey, we are too unrestrained." Suanna also said in a joking manner. Ha 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 ha. A group of girls laughed. "Remember to tell them about this later. I also want to know why." Zhang Yuxi smiled and said, "Anyway, it's not because we are pretty." Li said self-deprecatingly. "Tell me the truth. You guys are really pretty. Pretty girls hang out with pretty girls. Look at the school belle's best friends, they're all pretty." The short-haired girl said. "If you say that, I can be happy for 3 days." Ha ha ha. Li laughed. But then again, Zhang Yuxi's roommates and best friends are really pretty, all of them are tall beauties. Although they are still a certain distance away from Zhang Yuxi, they are all beauties of the upper middle level. So, Zhang Yuxi's dormitory was a sensation on the whole campus. So the school belle Zhang Yuxi is already in a relationship. But her roommates also have their own temperaments. Many boys also thought that since they couldn't get Zhang Yuxi, they could try her roommates. After all, Zhang Yuxi's dormitory is a dormitory famous for all the beauties in the school. I don't know how many classmates size Zhang Yuxi and her roommates and best friends can attract when they walk on the street. Zhang Yuxi alone is enough to attract classmates, and 4 girls together are even more pleasing to the eye. However, these male classmates in the school still failed to get what they wanted. After all, Lin Feng's roommates took the initiative. The main reason is that Lin Feng's roommates are all good-looking. They are tall, good-looking, and have some money. They are all roommates because of the relationship between Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends and Lin Feng's brothers naturally got together. It can be said that it is easier. After all, they all know what kind of person Lin Feng is. People who are with Zhang Yuxi will not be bad. So the brothers around Lin Feng will naturally not be bad. Even if they can't reach Lin Feng's height, at least they can be brothers with Lin Feng, which must be good. After all, Lin Feng's height is not something that ordinary people can reach. So Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends also agreed to the pursuit of Lin Feng's roommates. It can be said that they are even closer. They usually eat together, have dinner together, and play together in all aspects. Because everyone knows each other and they are all friends. In addition, Lin Feng led these roommates to start a business, taught them a lot of things, and made more and more progress. Therefore, it can be said that the girls in Zhang Yuxi's dormitory and the boys in Lin Feng's dormitory are a perfect match. This also makes the students on campus very envious of them. After all, excellent people are with excellent people. Chapter 1531 Badminton Exam. Lin Feng's roommates are very lucky. They are able to live in the same dormitory with Lin Feng and become brothers. Therefore, along the way, Lin Feng has led them to grow and learn a lot of things. Otherwise, it would be difficult for them to reach this level at this age if they rely on their own abilities. Of course, Chen Kun and others are still good, otherwise they can't help them. On this side, Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends are chatting with other female classmates. On the other side, teacher Li Qing slowly walked over. "What are you laughing at, laughing so happily? How is the ball practice going?" Teacher Li Qing said slowly. "Don't worry, Teacher Li. It will definitely pass." Li Yi smiled and said, "I just practiced hard." "Teacher, you came just after chatting for a while." The short-haired female classmate also said, "Is it just a passing requirement? Can you get a higher score?" Teacher Li Qing shook his head helplessly and said, "Passing is the most basic." "Of course, Teacher Li, you can give a higher score." Li Yi said with an idea. "You have such a little trick. The teacher is fair, just and open." Teacher Li Qing smiled and said. Then he looked at his watch. It was already 5:15. There were still 15 minutes before the end of get out of class. So Teacher Li Qing notified all the students to gather. In less than 2 minutes, the students all rushed to the designated place and gathered. "Okay. Next, let's talk about the exam next week. The exam time next week will be moved forward by half an hour. That means every student must arrive at the gymnasium on time at 2 o'clock. Then gather at the badminton court. We will try to finish all the exams in one afternoon. If there are students who are unable to come due to special circumstances, please inform me in advance. Then, please arrive at the gymnasium on time at 2 o'clock the next afternoon for the exam. Because I have to test other classes the next afternoon. So, students who are unable to take the exam due to special circumstances should remember this. The content of the exam is only those few items. Students who have not practiced well should arrange their own time to practice more. Try to pass it in one go. Anything else you don't understand?" Teacher Li Qing said slowly after arranging the requirements for the exam. "Teacher Li, if you fail the exam and need to take a makeup exam, will you take it on the same day? Or what?" a short male student asked. After hearing what the male student said, Li Qing laughed helplessly. He has already thought about the makeup exam. What a disappointing student. Such a simple exam content, do you still need to take a makeup exam? You should prepare well and pass it in one go. Have some ambition. Don't run around in class, you won't fail the exam. I often see some students who often go to the volleyball court on the first floor and the basketball court on the fourth floor. In short, they don't like to practice on the badminton court, they just like to run around. Then they fail the exam again. Why didn't you choose other courses when you chose the course? You run around after choosing the badminton course. Li Qing said speechlessly. I really can't understand what these students are thinking. They chose the badminton course, but didn't play well during the physical education class. Instead, they like to run around on every floor. If they had chosen other courses, they would have been relieved when taking the exam. Teacher Li, I really like badminton class. And there are several badminton teachers, I chose you specifically. I just want to take your class. The fat male classmate said. Yeah, me too. I was watching the computer to get Teacher Li's class. After all, I heard the seniors' evaluation of Teacher Li, which was quite high. So we all want to take Teacher Li's class. A female classmate with long hair also said. Teacher Li, it was because of our roommate Yuxi that we chose badminton class. Otherwise you would have lost an excellent student. Li Yi deliberately said jokingly. And just as Li Yi finished speaking, Zhang Yuxi, who was standing aside, patted Li Yi lightly in embarrassment. This stinky girl couldn't help but speak again, saying that it was okay. Why did he bring her up? Originally, Zhang Yuxi was the kind of person who was relatively low-key, especially in front of a large group of classmates. She didn't want everyone to focus too much on her and pay too much attention to her. So in most cases, she would not speak in this situation. After all, she thought what Teacher Li Qing said was true. But Li Yi was a lively and naughty type, so she couldn't help but joke with Teacher Li Qing. Silly girl, stop talking. Speaking of me again. Zhang Yuxi whispered at the side. Oh, it's okay. Teacher Li likes you so much. He's so happy that you can choose his class. Li Yi smiled and said. Okay, you guys are all good at talking. Anyway, you all chose my class, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. Anyway, everyone must pass the exam next week. Can you do it? If you can't do it, you can only come here to take the makeup exam on Saturday afternoon. So if you want to go out on the weekend, you have to pass it in one go. Teacher Li Qing said slowly. Yes, Teacher Li, don't worry. Everyone passed. Yes, you can rest assured. After all, they are Teacher Li's students. The students all spoke up. However, just as everyone was chattering, the bell for the end of get out of class rang. Ding ling ling. Ding ling ling. Okay. Dismissed. Teacher Li Qing said simply. Goodbye, Teacher Li. See you next week. Bye, Brother Li. The classmates followed Teacher Li Qing to say goodbye, then packed up and walked downstairs to the gymnasium. At this time, Zhang Yuxi also slowly picked up the water cup and the racket she brought with her. In fact, many students use the rackets prepared by the teacher when they come to class. Every time there is a physical education class, each class will prepare the necessary sports items. However, when Lin Feng learned that Zhang Yuxi had chosen badminton class, he personally went to the sports brand store to select a professional badminton racket. So every time Zhang Yuxi went to physical education class, she would bring her own. After seeing that Zhang Yuxi brought her own badminton racket, several of Zhang Yuxi's roommates and girlfriends also asked their boyfriends to prepare one. After all, they are Lin Feng's roommates and brothers, and Lin Feng did so of course they are no exception. Chapter 1532, Love over Friendship. Afterwards, Zhang Yuxi and her girlfriends went to the bathroom to wash their hands, and then went downstairs to the gymnasium together. At this time, Lin Feng had not arrived yet. After all, the teaching building where Lin Feng taught was some distance away from the school gymnasium. Yuxi, let's wait here with you. Xiaoyu said. Why don't you stay home tonight? Stay in the dormitory for one night, anyway, you can wear our clothes. It's been a long time since we slept together. Li Yi said excitedly. Yi, give up this idea. Lin Feng won't allow it. How could a wife-loving maniac agree to it? Suanna deliberately said jokingly. How do you know if you don't try? Wait for Lin Feng to come over and ask. Li Yi continued to speak. Zhang Yuxi just smiled and didn't speak. But then again, since moving out with Lin Feng, it has been a long time since I lived with my roommates and girlfriends. When I first started, everyone often kept chatting after turning off the lights every night, and there were all kinds of gossip. And they often chatted until very late. Often, everyone would go to the cafeteria to get food together during get out of class, and in the morning, they would rush to buy breakfast and rush to the classroom for class. Later, they moved out of the school with Lin Feng, bought a new house, and then moved to their own home. Although Lin Feng would occasionally gather a group of friends to eat together, and often treat them. But it was definitely not as sticky as when they lived in the school. So now Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends also want her to stay and live in the school for one night. After all, Zhang Yuxi's tall figure has no problem wearing their clothes. Moreover, Zhang Yuxi will also leave some clothes in the school dormitory, so that she may need them sometimes. After waiting for a few minutes, Lin Feng came downstairs of the gymnasium. Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends saw Lin Feng coming, and they couldn't wait to ask him. Lin Feng, Mr. Lin. Come here. Li Yi waved her hand and said. What's wrong? Lin Feng said with a puzzled look, and then slowly walked over. We want to keep Yuxi in school for one night. What do you think, Mr. Lin? Li Yi said with a smile. Live in school. Lin Feng said lightly. Yes. We haven't been able to live with Yuxi for a long time. So I want her to stay tonight. No, I'm asking for your opinion. Xiaoyu also said. You guys want me to stay alone in the empty room, right? You want to steal my brother and my woman. Lin Feng raised the corners of his mouth slightly, and said deliberately jokingly. Zhang Yuxi, who was standing aside, couldn't help laughing after hearing what Lin Feng said. Just now, when her girlfriend said it, she just smiled and didn't say anything. It was because she thought that Lin Feng would definitely not allow it. Based on her understanding of Lin Feng, he would definitely not let her stay alone in school. So when her girlfriend said this, she didn't say anything. Let them ask Lin Feng themselves. Sure enough, it was almost the same as she thought. Ha 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 ha. Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends all laughed after hearing Lin Feng's words. I really can't refute what you said. It seems to be the case. Li Yi said with a smile. Yes, it seems that we are indeed too much. But I still want to fight for it. Suanna said. Yes. We don't care about your brother for tonight. But we still want to fight for your woman. Xiaoyu said deliberately jokingly. Don't be too greedy. Fortunately, my brothers are not here, otherwise I would be upset to death listening to you say this. I have to take my woman home. Lin Feng said with a smile. What's uncomfortable? It shows that we don't value love over friendship. Li Yi said. Don't say it. I may be the one who values love over friendship. My wife is the most important. Don't fight with me for her. Lin Feng said humorously. Tisk tisk tisk, people are so annoying when they compare themselves to others. If my Chendonggyun is half as good as you, I'll be so happy. Xiaoyu shook her head and said. Then, the goddess. Our dream of sleeping together tonight is shattered, Li Yi said to Zhang Yuxi. I feel bad and want to cry. Then Xiaoyu deliberately said jokingly. Wife, are you willing to let me stay alone in the empty room? Can you pity your husband? Lin Feng said in advance to help Zhang Yuxi out of the embarrassment. Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends laughed out loud when they saw Lin Feng's humorous words. Sorry, sisters. After all, I am a married woman now. So I can't be with you sisters for the time being. You know. Zhang Yuxi deliberately said jokingly. My wife has spoken. So I have to take her away tonight. Lin Feng said with a smile on his face. That's all, two gods and lovers. Go ahead. Goddess, we'll do it another day. Li Yi said with a look at Zhang Yuxi. Okay. Bye, see you tomorrow. You guys should go eat quickly too. Don't let your boyfriend wait too long, Zhang Yuxi said with a smile. It's okay, let him wait. Who can't come to pick us up? Suanna said. Yeah, look at Lin Feng, he comes right after class. They also finish class at the same time as Lin Feng, and there's no sign of them. Xiaoyu also complained. Okay, don't count on them. If it doesn't work, we'll go eat by ourselves. Li Yi said. They're waiting for you downstairs in the dormitory. Told me when get out of class was over. You guys are still wasting time. Lin Feng said. Okay, go. No more talking, they'll wait too long. Let's go eat, we'll go back too. Zhang Yuxi said. Okay, Yuxi, let's go. Bye. Suanna waved and said. Well, see you tomorrow. Bye. Zhang Yuxi also smiled and waved goodbye. Then Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends went downstairs together. After all, Lin Feng's brothers were still waiting for them there. Since Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi moved out, they often got together for dinner after class because they were all good friends. Sometimes after dinner, if there were no classes in the evening, they would team up to go to the clubs near the school. After Zhang Yuxi said goodbye to her girlfriends, she followed Lin Feng home. Chapter 1533, Pampering Wife with Strength. Honey, are you hungry? Lin Feng asked while driving. Not bad, not hungry but not full either, Zhang Yuxi said mischievously. Silly wife, full is definitely not full. I've been eating since lunch. What do you want to eat, honey? Lin Feng asked with a doting look on his face. I'm fine, whatever you eat, husband, I'll eat. Zhang Yuxi said. Well, it's past 6 o'clock now. Lin Feng thought for a while and thought it should be in time. It's about 10 past 6 now. If he drives directly home to the nearby large supermarket to buy some vegetables, and then rushes home to cook, he should be able to eat around 7 o'clock, or around 8 o'clock at the latest. That's why Lin Feng just asked Zhang Yuxi if she was hungry. If Zhang Yuxi was really hungry, he would not plan to cook, and would take Zhang Yuxi to a restaurant outside for dinner. Fortunately, Zhang Yuxi was not hungry, so there was still time to cook. After all, he hadn't cooked for Zhang Yuxi for some days. Because he had a lot of things to do, he ate outside most of the time. So Lin Feng planned to cook dinner for Zhang Yuxi himself tonight while the time was right. Wife, since you're not hungry yet, let's go shopping in the supermarket when we get back to our home. I plan to cook for you tonight. Okay. Lin Feng thought for a moment and said with a doting look on his face. Really? Yes, yes. Zhang Yuxi said with a look of excitement. Of course it's true. Let's go to the supermarket and buy whatever you want to eat. I haven't cooked for you for a long time. I'll make you something delicious tonight. Lin Feng said slowly. Yet happy, Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Silly wife, Lin Feng said gently. After a few minutes, Lin Feng drove to the parking lot of a supermarket near his home and parked the car. Then he took Zhang Yuxi to the supermarket to shop. Wife, buy some seafood. Whatever you like. Lin Feng said. Alright, I'll listen to you. Zhang Yuxi responded obediently. In fact, most of the time, Lin Feng would go to the seafood market to buy seafood in person, because Zhang Yuxi likes to eat it. The seafood market is still a little far from where they live. It takes about half an hour to run back and forth. In order to save a little time, Lin Feng bought it early and went back to cook early. He was also worried that Zhang Yuxi would be hungry after too long. So he decided to buy some seafood in the supermarket temporarily. And the main thing is that the place where they live is also a high-end community, where rich people or powerful people from all over the country live. People who don't have an annual income of tens of millions are not eligible to buy a house here. And Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi now have more than one property under their name. There are all kinds of villas in high-end communities, and many houses are specially given to Zhang Yuxi and written directly under her name. Therefore, naturally, the surrounding facilities of the community are also more advanced and advanced. The price is naturally very high. The quality is naturally better. Many things are also imported foods. So the things bought in the supermarket are still very expensive and the quality is guaranteed. Naturally, the seafood will not be bad. Buy a king crab, steam half and fry the other half. This way you can have a little bit of each. Lin Feng said. Will this be too much trouble for my husband? One is fine, I love everything you cook. Zhang Yuxi said. Silly, it's not a big deal. As long as you like it. Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. Then I'll cook a dish too. I'll cook. Zhang Yuxi was interrupted by Lin Feng before she finished her words. Wife, I'll cook tonight, and you'll be responsible for waiting for food. Just wait for me to cook. Lin Feng said. Seeing Lin Feng's determination, Zhang Yuxi didn't insist on cooking. Because she knew that Lin Feng would definitely not let her do it after saying that. I know that I can cook a meal when I get home, right? Zhang Yuxi said mischievously. Okay, then you can just help cook a meal. The rest is up to my husband. Lin Feng said. He knew that Zhang Yuxi always wanted to share something with him, so he agreed to let her help cook. Okay, I'll be responsible for eating. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Yes, I'm buying some abalone. I see that these abalones are quite big today. It just happens to be what you like to eat. Lin Feng said slowly. He can remember very clearly what Zhang Yuxi likes to eat and what she doesn't like to eat, and he remembers it clearly and has never made a mistake. Yes, the last time you cooked it, it was especially delicious. It was delicious. Zhang Yuxi nodded and said. Do you want to eat shrimp again? More shrimp? Lin Feng said. Because Zhang Yuxi ate too much shrimp last time and got a little irritated, Lin Feng asked Zhang Yuxi. I don't want to eat it for the time being. I've eaten a lot of shrimp recently. Zhang Yuxi said. Then we won't eat it tonight. I'll make it for you later. Lin Feng said. Lin Feng originally planned to make soup for Zhang Yuxi. After all, Zhang Yuxi likes to drink soup. And it is mainly good for girls to drink more soup. But they were short of time after class, and it would take at least an hour and a half to make soup. In this case, it would take too long to wait, and Lin Feng was also worried that Zhang Yuxi would be hungry. So, he decided not to make soup tonight. When he had more time, he would spend an hour or two to make soup for her. Tonight he planned to buy a goldfish and steam it. It just so happened that the things and dishes he bought now were all Zhang Yuxi's favorites. And it was also relatively time-saving, so it would probably take about 40 minutes to get it done. Then he went to the vegetable area to buy some green vegetables and dietary fiber foods. Then he went to the fruit area to buy the fruits that Zhang Yuxi liked to eat. Since being with Zhang Yuxi has never been out of fruit. Lin Feng always made sure that there must be fruit at home. If he found that there was no fruit, he would buy it back as soon as possible. He also clearly remembered what fruits Zhang Yuxi liked to eat. He also wanted Zhang Yuxi to try every fruit, so he would often buy every variety. He really spoiled his wife with his ability. Honey, give me more. Give me some of everything. Lin Feng said. That's enough. You're treating me like a pig, Zhang Yuxi said coquettishly. Silly. You're just a stupid pig, Lin Feng said deliberately jokingly. Chapter 1534 Sweet Love, when will it be my turn? You are the pig, humph, Zhang Yuxi said with a proud look on her face. These are all imported fruits, let's have one each. They're all what you like to eat. Lin Feng said gently. Okay, husband, that's enough, and these fruits are so expensive. Zhang Yuxi said in a low voice. A little bit of fruit costs thousands of yuan. She would rather go to a fruit store that sells fruits, at least it's a little cheaper. Wife, Listen to me. These are what you like to eat, they are not expensive. My husband still has this little money, anyway, you can't make me poor by eating. Lin Feng smiled and said. After that, he put all the fruits in the cargo truck one by one. In his eyes, these are nothing, it's no problem to eat a few thousand yuan of fruit casually. The money he earns is Zhang Yuxi's, and so much money, why not save it for his wife? Usually, going out for social events or inviting friends to dinner can easily cost tens of thousands of yuan for a meal, or even more. So as long as Zhang Yuxi likes something, Lin Feng will buy it for her without hesitation. Oh, it's not necessary to buy it, it's cheaper to buy it at the fruit store. Zhang Yuxi said. It's necessary. Everything my wife eats is necessary. Besides, the fruits in this supermarket are all imported through legitimate channels. It's not necessarily the case with fruit stores outside. Just buy it here. Lin Feng said slowly. Okay, I can't beat you. Zhang Yuxi said. Although she said so, Zhang Yuxi was still very moved in her heart. After all, Lin Feng never begrudged his love and always gave Zhang Yuxi the best. So Zhang Yuxi also knew all this, so she obeyed Lin Feng. After all, as long as Lin Feng wanted to give Zhang Yuxi something, he couldn't stop it. It's already 6:30. Honey, have you bought enough things? Zhang Yuxi asked. Well, there's still a little left. Let's go quickly. Lin Feng said. Then he immediately took Zhang Yuxi to the snack area. He quickly selected some imported snacks, which were all Zhang Yuxi's usual snacks. Enough, enough. The shopping cart can't fit any more. Zhang Yuxi said on the side. Done. Wife, let's go home and cook. Lin Feng smiled and said. Stupid, you really treat me like a pig? Zhang Yuxi shook her head and said. Yes, you are my cute pig. Your little face is always pink and tender, just like a little pig. Lin Feng pinched Zhang Yuxi's little face and said. Zhang Yuxi deliberately hit Lin Feng's arm and buried her head in his chest. No way, I'm Rosie. Okay, Zhang Yuxi said with a coquettish look. Okay, my cute little pig. Lin Feng's mouth corners slightly raised, and he said with a doting look. At this time, the young people on the side saw Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi, a couple of talented men and beautiful women, and they all envied them. When will this sweet love come to me? The girl on the side whispered. Sister, wake up. Just work hard to make money. The friend of the girl on the other side said. So sweet, I also want to have such a handsome and rich boyfriend. The key is that he also pampers his wife, isn't it annoying? Another girl behind him said. The problem is that his wife is beautiful. We should still have a chance if we work hard on plastic surgery. Another girl said self-deprecatingly. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi on the side heard the conversation of these girls, and they looked at each other and laughed unconsciously. Let's go, let's check out. Zhang Yuxi said. Then Lin Feng pushed a full shopping cart to pay the bill. This cart alone cost more than 10,000 yuan. But for Lin Feng's financial situation, it was really a piece of cake and not worth mentioning. I don't know how many times the money I earn every day is this time's consumption, and I can't count it. Then, Lin Feng carried his things and walked to the parking lot, and then drove home. After returning home, he immediately went into the kitchen to prepare tonight's dinner. Zhang Yuxi also immediately started to cook. After finishing the meal, Zhang Yuxi surrounded Lin Feng and looked at him. Husband, is there anything else I can help with? Zhang Yuxi asked. Wife, do whatever you want. When my husband is done, I'll call you to eat. Lin Feng said gently. Okay, then I'll go out. If there's anything, just call me, husband. Zhang Yuxi said. Go ahead. But don't eat too many snacks first. We'll have dinner later. Got it. Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. Yeah, got it. Zhang Yuxi nodded obediently in response. Then she went out of the kitchen and sat in the living room to watch a TV series. Lin Feng was busy cooking in the kitchen. On the other side, Zhang Yuxi was watching the TV series and fell asleep unknowingly. Because the final exams were approaching recently, Zhang Yuxi also spent a lot of time on studying. Although with her intelligence, she would definitely pass the exam if she just studied casually. But because Zhang Yuxi likes to study, she often uses her spare time to study and read. She often fills her time in her leisure time, and every day is particularly fulfilling. In addition, she went to the nursing home last weekend, so she was a little tired when she just returned to school. She fell asleep on the sofa without knowing it. At this time, Lin Feng prepared a dish and brought it to the dining table. He glanced at Zhang Yuxi and found that the silly girl was asleep. So he went to the bedroom and took a blanket over, squatted gently beside Zhang Yuxi, and gently covered Zhang Yuxi with a blanket. Looking at Zhang Yuxi's sleeping appearance, he felt a little reluctant. Then he leaned over gently and kissed her on the forehead. He got up and went to the kitchen immediately, quickly got the dishes out, and let Zhang Yuxi eat. After dinner, let her take a good bath and rest early. Half an hour later, Lin Feng had prepared several dishes. He walked gently to Zhang Yuxi's side and saw that she had no intention of waking up. But in order to let Zhang Yuxi eat dinner while the food was still hot, Lin Feng still woke Zhang Yuxi up. Wife, get up. It's time for dinner. Eat well, take a shower and go to bed. Lin Feng said in a very gentle tone. Chapter 1535, The Language of Sunflowers. Zhang Yuxi, who was lying on the sofa, woke up drowsily and rubbed her eyes with her hands. Hubby, Zhang Yuxi said in a warm and soft voice. Hubby has cooked. Eat something first. Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. Why did I fall asleep? It smells so good, Zhang Yuxi said in a coquettish tone. Little pig, you must have been too tired recently. Come on, get up. Hubby will make you some rice. You will feel energetic after eating the rice. Lin Feng smiled and said. Then Zhang Yuxi got up from the sofa and walked to the dining table. Hubby, you have worked hard. It smells so good, Zhang Yuxi said. Then you should eat more. Eat up all the rice. Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. Then he put the prepared rice in front of Zhang Yuxi. It must be. Otherwise, it will be a shame for the delicious food made by my husband. Zhang Yuxi said with a smile on her face. This king crab is very fat, with a lot of meat. Honey, eat more. Lin Feng said. Yes, honey, eat too. Zhang Yuxi nodded obediently in response. Then she picked up some food for Lin Feng. By the way, honey, we have a physical education exam next week. When is yours? Zhang Yuxi asked. We should also have next week. See what the teacher says during physical education tomorrow. But I think it will be next week too. Lin Feng said. Yeah, it seems that everyone will have an exam next week. After all, physical education is taken before cultural subjects. Zhang Yuxi said. It doesn't matter. You can take physical education at any time. Lin Feng said. That's for sure. You are the best basketball player in the whole school. I doubt that the teacher can beat you. Ha ha ha. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. After all, everyone can see that Lin Feng is very good at basketball. It is the same as the professional level. So far, he has not met an opponent in school. Basically, everyone is defeated by him. Therefore, Lin Feng is also very popular with female classmates. After all, girls like him so much when he is so good at basketball. The main reason is that Lin Feng is not only good at basketball, but also excellent in all aspects. He is rich and talented, and girls can't wait to get close to him. Girls who like Lin Feng can line up outside the school. Although everyone knows that Lin Feng has a fiancée, and his fiancée is Zhang Yuxi, who is at the level of a school beauty. Zhang Yuxi's excellence is also known to everyone. But it can't stop the female classmates from loving Lin Feng. Just like the male classmates in the school appreciate Zhang Yuxi. Even though they know that she already has such an excellent Lin Feng. But they still like her silently as always. Every girl wants a Lin Feng in her heart. And every boy hopes to have a girlfriend like Zhang Yuxi. Wife, when I have a basketball exam next week, if you don't have classes, come to see me. Okay. Lin Feng said. Okay. I haven't seen you play basketball for a long time. I'll go if I don't have class. How about I skip class? Zhang Yuxi said with a smile. Silly, if you have class, go to class. Come if you don't have class. Lin Feng smiled and said. Okay, listen to you. Zhang Yuxi said. Because the weekly classes in college are not fixed and may change at any time. And sometimes there are classes in the morning but not in the afternoon, or there may be classes in the afternoon without classes in the morning. There is also a possibility that there may be only 2 classes in the morning and then no classes. So the courses are different every week, and the time arrangement is not uniform. Relatively speaking, the time is more free and more abundant. There is more personal time, so the rest of the time except for class time can be freely arranged. Therefore, Zhang Yuxi is not sure whether she will have a class next week when Lin Feng has a basketball exam. According to the situation this week, Lin Feng has a physical education class tomorrow, And she has 2 classes tomorrow afternoon, but sometimes she has no class. So it is still uncertain. The specific situation will be known after the course is released next week. And it is very likely that the course time will be changed temporarily. After all, with my wife around, I will definitely perform better. My wife is motivation. Lin Feng smiled and said. Oh really? Shouldn't it be more motivated to have other beauties around? It's just right to show off. Zhang Yuxi deliberately said teasingly. After all, boys will have a little bit of a desire to show off, especially in front of girls, and even more so in front of the girls they like. After all, you have to show off what you are good at? No. I only have eyes for my wife. In my mind, my wife is the most beautiful. Others are not in my eyes at all. Lin Feng said solemnly. But it is true that Lin Feng himself is still relatively low-key. He has never been particularly high-profile in front of others to show off his abilities. The main reason is that he doesn't need to show off in a high-profile way. Everyone knows his situation well. After all, he is such a talented and capable person. It's hard not to be discovered. All his performances will only be for Zhang Yuxi. Because Lin Feng doesn't need to please anyone. Everything he has belongs to Zhang Yuxi alone. Just like he is good at basketball, he only hopes that Zhang Yuxi can watch him by his side. That's enough. In fact, for many boys who love basketball, when they play basketball, if their beloved girl is watching them, it should be the most beautiful and happiest thing. After all, basketball is something boys love, and the beloved girl is willing to participate in something boys love. Even watching from the side is the greatest support. People usually say that they don't feel anything when their girlfriend is by their side. On the contrary, other beauties play basketball more vigorously by their side. Zhang Yuxi deliberately said jokingly. That's someone else. I'm not like that. What does other women have to do with me? I only want my wife. Lin Feng said seriously. How credible are these words? Zhang Yuxi laughed and said. Silly wife. Of course it's 100%. There is no doubt that your husband loves you. Just like the flower language of sunflowers. No one else is in sight, and you are everywhere. Lin Feng said. Husband is okay. Remember the flower language of sunflowers? Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 1536 Video Call. This is also one of your favorite flowers. You told me once before. I wrote it down. I think this flower language is very good. It's like I only have you in my eyes, and I can't tolerate anyone else. Lin Feng said with a deep look on his face. He. Okay, I believe you. I believe you 200%. Zhang Yuxi said playfully. Then you eat more. Eat more vegetables. Tonight's dishes are specially made for you. Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. Yes, eat them all. They're all my favorites. Thank you, husband. Zhang Yuxi said happily. Afterwards, Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi chatted happily while eating dinner. After a while, it was already 8:30. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi were full. Husband, I'll wash the dishes tonight. You can rest for a while. Zhang Yuxi said. Then she immediately stood up to clean up the dishes, but was stopped by Lin Feng on the side. Wife, I'll wash it. You go and continue watching your TV series. Take a break and get ready to take a shower. Lin Feng said. Then he took the chopsticks from Zhang Yuxi's hand. Lin Feng loved Zhang Yuxi very much in every aspect, and just wanted her to be his little princess at ease. However, Zhang Yuxi still felt very sorry for Lin Feng. She also knew that Lin Feng had worked hard to make dinner for her. Then she should do something, even help wash the dishes after dinner. And Lin Feng also knew Zhang Yuxi's intention, just wanting to share some things with him. But Lin Feng felt that he was a man, and it was right to do more. And she was his wife, who would he spoil if he didn't spoil her? Although with Lin Feng's current strength, he could hire a nanny to take care of their daily lives. This would indeed save a lot of trouble. But Lin Feng still enjoyed living with Zhang Yuxi very much. He took care of every aspect of Zhang Yuxi, even if he took the time to cook a meal for her. It was different if he did these things himself. In this way, every bit of the two people together was a happy moment. So Lin Feng is very willing to spend more time and energy. And this is also a very happy thing. Two people who love each other are together, even if they do something very boring, it is very warm. And go to get out of class together, go out together, and go home together. Even if it is to cook a meal for each other, or clean together, these are very warm and romantic things. So all along, Lin Feng has not hired a nanny. He just wants to enjoy the world that belongs to the two of them. The main reason is that Zhang Yuxi also feels that there is no need to hire a nanny, because she knows the most basic life. It's just that Lin Feng has given priority to arranging it, because Lin Feng doesn't want Zhang Yuxi to be too hard. She just needs to do what she wants to do happily. She doesn't need to worry about other things. Lin Feng will arrange everything. And Zhang Yuxi also knows that Lin Feng's actions are all because of his love for her. He is always reluctant to let her suffer a little bit and protects her very well. She was not a princess in a fairy tale world, but since she has been with Lin Feng, she is a princess who is truly held in the palm of Lin Feng's hand. And she is also a princess who lives in a fairy tale and is envied by others. Of course, she is also a princess who belongs to Lin Feng alone. Husband, can you let me wash this time? Let me share some of the burden for you. Please, please. Zhang Yuxi said in a coquettish tone. Wife, be good. Husband will do the cleaning. Lin Feng said in a gentle tone. Husband, be good. Wife will do the cleaning. Zhang Yuxi said mischievously. My silly wife is really. She also wants to fight for the dishes. Isn't it silly? Lin Feng smiled and said. In fact, he knew Zhang Yuxi's intentions and said so deliberately. Because he didn't want Zhang Yuxi to do it, he could do these things. Oh, you don't care. If you don't say it, it's all done now. Please, please. Zhang Yuxi said. Then she picked up the dishes and walked into the kitchen. Hey, this silly girl. Lin Feng smiled and said. He didn't stop Zhang Yuxi. Since she wanted to do it, let her do it. Saying more at this time will not change her. Then thank you for your hard work, my wife. I love you. Lin Feng followed Zhang Yuxi and said. It's not hard, I love you too. Go away, I'll go out after I finish washing. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Then Lin Feng went out and sat on the sofa waiting for Zhang Yuxi. After a while, Zhang Yuxi washed the dishes and cleaned up the garbage. She came to sit next to Lin Feng. Just when Zhang Yuxi sat down and her butt was not warm yet, Lin Feng's phone suddenly rang. Lin Feng got up and took the phone and took a look. It's Grandma. Video call, Lin Feng said. Hey, she learned how to make a video call last time I taught her. Hurry up and answer it. I don't know what's the matter. Zhang Yuxi said. Then Lin Feng answered the WeChat of Grandma Hime. Grandma. Lin Feng called out. Oh, Lin Feng, Ming Ming. He. Have you eaten? Grandma Hime said with joy on her face. Grandma, I've eaten. Just full. I ate with Yuxi. Lin Feng said a little loudly. After all, Grandma is a little old, and the old lady's hearing is more or less a little bit bad. So Lin Feng was worried that Grandma Hime couldn't hear clearly, so he spoke louder. Okay, okay. I ate with Yuxi. Yes, they ate together. You can't hear clearly. Grandma Hime talked to the phone while explaining to Lin Feng's grandfather Zhou Sanqiang. Grandma, put the phone away. This way it will shine on my grandpa. Lin Feng said patiently. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, old man, I don't understand. Grandma Hime said to herself. Okay, okay, Grandma. I saw Grandpa. Lin Feng reminded. At this time, the two old people smiled kindly and stared at the phone. Lin Feng, where's Yuxi? Where did the little girl go? Grandpa asked. We just said we were having dinner together, but I can't see her now. Grandma muttered. Grandpa and Grandma, I'm here. Hello, Grandpa and Grandma, can you see me? Then Zhang Yuxi immediately came to the phone and greeted her Grandpa and Grandma obediently. Chapter 1537 100% support. Haha. See. Girl, Grandma misses you. Grandpa and Grandma said excitedly. Grandma and Grandpa miss you too. Prepare for the final exam now. After the exam, Lin Feng and I will come to see you right away. Take care of yourself. Zhang Yuxi said slowly, word by word. Because she did this so that the two old people could hear more clearly. After all, Grandpa and Grandma are both nearly 100 years old. They don't know much about WeChat and mobile phones. Last time, she and Lin Feng taught them very patiently, and the two old people can use mobile phones a little now. The main thing is that after all, they can't be by their side all the time, and it would be convenient if they can make video calls. In this way, the old people can watch them by video when they miss them. And the two old people will be happier. Grandpa and Grandma were very excited when they saw Zhang Yuxi, and they both liked Zhang Yuxi very much. The main thing is that Zhang Yuxi is also quite considerate and often buys things for Grandpa and Grandma. It has been a long time since Lin Feng took Zhang Yuxi to see Grandpa and Grandma. So, Grandpa and Grandma remembered to make a video call to Lin Feng. Hey girl, Grandma knows you are busy. You still have to go to class, young people. Grandpa and Grandma just miss you. That's why I called you. Grandma said slowly. Grandpa, Grandma. It's okay, call us if you miss us. I'll go see you when I'm done. Zhang Yuxi said again very patiently. Okay. Grandma is happy. Lin Feng's grandma said with a smile. Did Lin Feng bully you, girl? If he bullies you, just tell Grandpa and I'll beat him up. Grandpa Zhou Saiqiang asked from the side. Grandpa, what are you talking about? How could I bully Yuxi? Lin Feng explained quickly. Don't talk first, let the girl talk. If you talk, she might not dare to tell the truth. Grandpa said anxiously to protect Zhang Yuxi. Okay, I won't say it. Let my wife tell you herself. Lin Feng smiled and shook his head helplessly. Since being with Zhang Yuxi, his family status has gradually declined. Whether it is Lin Feng's father, mother, grandparents, they all favor Zhang Yuxi. Anyway, he is no longer the most important treasure in the eyes of the family. After all, Zhang Yuxi is now the first person loved by the family. Grandpa and Grandma are also afraid that Zhang Yuxi will be wronged, so they are very partial to her. Although the old people also know what kind of person Lin Feng is. With their understanding of Lin Feng, they must also love Zhang Yuxi very much. But in order to let Zhang Yuxi feel the warmth and love of the family, let Zhang Yuxi know that she is a very important existence in the family. So Lin Feng's family members stand behind Zhang Yuxi and support her 100% no matter whether it is big or small, right or wrong. Whenever there is something wrong, Lin Feng's mother thinks it is her son's problem. Zhang Yuxi is always right, and her family is Zhang Yuxi's strong backing. Although Zhang Yuxi is such an excellent girl, she has done nothing wrong. She has done everything very well. This is recognized by many elders and people around her. Zhang Yuxi is very important in front of Lin Feng's family, and she loves him very much. Then in the eyes of Zhang Yuxi's parents, they also love Lin Feng, their son-in-law, very much. There is no difference between treating him and their own son. After all, how can they not like such an excellent, capable, talented and doting son-in-law who loves Zhang Yuxi so much? Lin Feng's grandparents are also very sensible and very kind old people. Although they are not from the same era as Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi, it stands to reason that the old people may be backward in their thinking. But because Lin Feng's grandparents were also intellectuals in that era, so they are also relatively open-minded. They can also understand the thoughts and behaviors of these young people now. They have never interfered with the lifestyle of young people. On the contrary, Lin Feng's grandparents are very supportive of Lin Feng to do what he wants to do. Because they also love Lin Feng very much. Ever since they knew that Lin Feng was in love, and then brought Zhang Yuxi to see them. Grandpa and Grandma took it very seriously, and they loved Zhang Yuxi as a girl as soon as they met. They prepared a meeting gift early and gave Zhang Yuxi a big red envelope. Although Zhang Yuxi didn't want to accept the red envelope from Grandpa and Grandma, she still accepted it under the persuasion of Lin Feng's parents. After all, this is also a thought and attention from the elderly. Since the first time they met Zhang Yuxi, Grandpa and Grandma often asked Lin Feng to take Zhang Yuxi to dinner. They were thinking about Zhang Yuxi in their hearts. Grandpa, don't worry. Lin Feng is very good to me. Let me do everything. Zhang Yuxi said on the side. That's good. That's good. Anyway, if he bullies you, tell Grandpa. Grandpa still has some strength to deal with him now. Grandpa Zhou Saiqiang smiled and said. Okay, Grandpa, don't worry. Lin Feng doesn't dare. Ha 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 ha. Zhang Yuxi also laughed and said. Grandpa, don't worry. Now our whole family is protecting her. I have the intention but not the courage. Lin Feng deliberately said jokingly. You still have intentions. Did you let it slip? It seems that you have been dissatisfied with me for a long time. Tisk tisk. Zhang Yuxi hurriedly said jokingly. No. Wife, you are looking for trouble. How dare I don't have that idea. I can't even love you enough. Don't just listen to this, okay? Lin Feng immediately explained. A face full of grievances. Ha 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 ha. Stupid, you are still aggrieved? Grandpa and Grandma, look, Lin Feng will never bully me. Zhang Yuxi laughed and said. Grandpa, you guys look. She is the only one who bullies me. Lin Feng said with a face full of grievances. Ouch, ouch, ouch. When did I bully you? If you talk nonsense, I'll spank you. Zhang Yuxi said. Ha ha ha, hey. Grandpa and Grandma on the other end of the phone also laughed. Lin Feng is a good kid. He has a good temper. Grandma knows. Grandma smiled and said. Grandma, I don't have a bad temper. I just save my good temper for Yuxi. Lin Feng said confidently. Indeed, Lin Feng's attitude towards outsiders is very cold. It gives people a sense of distance and it is not easy to get along with him. Therefore, many girls in the school think he is a cold male god. There are also many girls who want to get in touch with Lin Feng because of this, but because of his attitude, they back off. So in the eyes of these outsiders, Lin Feng is a quiet and very cold person. But little do they know that in front of Zhang Yuxi, Lin Feng is a 100% warm man. His smile, his humor, his cuteness, his mischief, his childishness, his maturity, all of his appearances are presented to Zhang Yuxi. Zhang Yuxi is the only one who can see all of Lin Feng's appearances. It is conceivable how important Zhang Yuxi is to him. Chapter 1538 Live a Good Life? That's because of the girl. You two love each other, so you give each other the best. But, people always have some flaws. You two should also tolerate each other's shortcomings. That's what it means to truly love each other. Grandma said meaningfully. After all, as a person who has experienced it, although the society now is different from the past, many aspects have changed a lot from the past. But in the relationship between two people, there is more or less experience. And the generation of Grandpa and Grandma treated feelings more plainly and simply. There were no problems that exist in today's society. In the past, there were fewer requirements, so the relationship would not be so easy to break up. Everyone gave in to each other and lived a simple life. On the contrary, people's living conditions are getting better and better, and their material life is also very rich, so there are more conflicts in relationships. Perhaps it is because people's spiritual world is lacking, and some things they want but cannot get. Grandma, we know. Don't worry, you two old people. And Yuxi is such a perfect person, I haven't seen any flaws in her so far. Lin Feng said. Don't think we old people are nagging. The main thing is that we want you to be well. After all, the two of you will spend your whole life together. Grandma said slowly. Don't mind, don't mind. Grandma, just say it. I think it's very right. You and Grandpa have lived your whole life. Lin Feng and I should learn from you. Zhang Yuxi said obediently. Grandma, Yuxi and I are doing well. We will always be well. I will only live with her for my whole life, and we will get married. Lin Feng said. Oh, that's right. Speaking of marriage. When are you two going to have a wedding? Grandpa can't wait. Ho ha ho ha. Grandpa Zhou Sanqiang smiled and said. Originally, he was just listening, but when he heard the word marriage, Grandpa immediately became excited. Oh, the kids are not old enough yet. The kids are still young, and we can't get the certificate. The kid's mother said it at that time. Grandma said to Grandpa. Ha 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 ha. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi both laughed when Grandma spoke. Because Grandma's expression was so funny. After hearing what his wife said, Grandpa also smiled awkwardly. I'm thinking that I can attend the children's wedding while I still have some strength. I'm afraid that if it takes a while, my health will get worse day by day. Hey, when people get old, their physical condition is unstable. Grandpa said meaningfully. Grandpa, Grandma, you should take care of your health. Grandpa and Grandma are so blessed, they will be safe and sound. Zhang Yuxi said. Yes. Grandpa and Grandma, you wait. It's almost time, when Yuxi and I reach the legal age for marriage. We will have the wedding right away. Lin Feng said. Seeing you two get married, we are relieved. Grandpa and Grandma are waiting. Grandma said slowly. Okay. Grandpa and Grandma, it's getting late. You should go to bed early. Lin Feng said. Because he looked at the time, it was almost 10 o'clock. They talked with Grandpa and Grandma for almost an hour. The main reason was that Grandpa and Grandma were reluctant to hang up the phone when they saw them. Elderly people are lonely in their old age, and they can't help but want to chat with the younger generation for a while. Grandpa and Grandma, you should go to bed early. We will go to see you after the exam. Zhang Yuxi also said gently. Okay, okay. You two are fine. No more, no more. You still have classes tomorrow. Go to bed early. Grandma said. Well, Grandpa and Grandma, take care of your health. Good night. Bye. Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi said goodnight to Grandpa and Grandma on the phone and hung up the phone. Alice, Grandpa and Grandma are getting older. But we have classes and more things to do. It can be seen that they miss us very much. After hanging up the phone, Lin Feng said a little disappointed. After all, Lin Feng and Grandpa and Grandma still have a deep relationship. Because Grandpa and Grandma have always loved him very much since he was a child. Any good things are left for him. And no matter what Lin Feng does, his grandparents are very supportive. So all along, Lin Feng has had a very deep affection for his grandparents. However, as he slowly grows up, things are getting more and more. The circle of life is also slowly expanding, and the important people around him are also increasing little by little. As a result, the time to go back to visit his grandparents is getting less and less. So every time he sees his grandparents, he will feel a little guilty. Since his rebirth, he has received various rewards from the system, and has a lot of wealth and skills. From then on, he suddenly changed from an ordinary person to a very perfect person. He squeezed into the wealth rankings of the top 500 in the world. He has real wealth and talent. Therefore, he often gives a huge sum of money to his grandparents. He honors the elderly through his own abilities. Although Lin Feng's uncles are all big guys, they are very powerful and capable. But several uncles still treat Lin Feng very lovingly. They really treat Lin Feng like their own son. They are also Lin Feng's strongest backing. With such a strong family background and Raymond Lam's own abilities, Raymond Lam has become famous in the business circle. After all, he is just a college student. How can people not admire him for his great ability? Therefore, Raymond Lam's grandparents have very good living conditions in their later years. This is also thanks to Raymond Lam's capable uncles and Raymond Lam's own strength. They let their grandparents live 1,000 times better life than their peers in their later years. They all arranged for a nanny to take care of their grandparents' daily life, including 3 meals a day. They also hired a family doctor to prevent their grandparents from sudden illness. In fact, it is about the same size as a nursing home, but the grandparents have a special nanny to take care of them in their own home. These are all things that the younger generation can do, so they feel more comfortable. The only shortcoming is that he feels that he has too little time to accompany his grandparents. Including these uncles, they are all busy with their careers and have no time to accompany the elderly. And these uncles' children are also in class. In short, the time to accompany the elderly is even less. Just like Lin Feng's own situation, although everyone knows that grandparents don't have much time left, after all, they are getting older day by day. But there is still no way. So everyone can only take time as much as possible to go back and accompany the elderly. Chapter 1539 Two Respected Elders. Lin Feng's own home is still a certain distance away from his grandparents' home. It takes at least 3 or 4 hours to drive all the way to his grandparents' home. Almost half a day has passed. Therefore, every time he goes to visit his grandparents, Lin Feng will temporarily put down all the work on hand. Time is also sufficient to go. Although grandparents understand the situation of these younger generations and have never complained about them. Instead, they always comfort them to do their own things with peace of mind. They understand that the younger generations are busy. They will take good care of themselves and let the younger generations rest assured. But then again, Lin Feng still misses his grandparents more or less. After all, they are nearly 100 years old. If they don't pay attention, it will really. Lin Feng also often calls to ask about his grandparents' family doctor. Understand the recent physical condition of his grandparents. Including when choosing a nanny, he asked his uncles to choose again and again. After all, there are many nannies in society who have bad intentions and abuse the elderly and children. So it is really rare to find a nanny with good character, kindness and responsibility. Fortunately, the nanny who takes care of the daily life and 3 meals a day of grandparents is very good. There is nothing to pick about her character, work, and all aspects. So the uncles give the nanny very good salary and benefits. The key point is that the nanny who takes care of grandparents really treats grandparents as her own family. This makes them feel more at ease. In order to ensure the good life of grandparents in their later years, the younger generations also put a lot of thought into it. It really provides all-round protection. After all, a home with elderly people at home is like a home. This family is blessed. After all, Lin Feng's grandparents were also very talented when they were young. They are all intellectuals, so-called cultural people. So Lin Feng's mother's family cultural heritage is still very deep. From Lin Feng's uncles, you can see. They are all very prestigious and influential people in the whole of China. And Lin Feng's mother is also very economically minded. She started her own business with Lin Feng's father and was like a fish in water. It is conceivable that Lin Feng's grandparents put in so much effort in cultivating the younger generation. So it is with these two respected elders that the descendants of the descendants will be talented on this basis. Their status in society is also more prestigious than one another. And the most important thing is that although Lin Feng's grandparents are old, they have very clear minds. They are very sensible and their ideas are not old-fashioned. So his grandparents are also very loved and respected by the younger generations in the family. The most important thing about a family bond is to look at people. The most important thing for the development of a family is the elderly. After Zhang Yuxi was with Lin Feng, she had more or less understanding of Lin Feng's grandparents. She also understood Lin Feng's entire family. So when she heard what Lin Feng said, she also understood Lin Feng's state of mind. After all, it is indeed too little time to accompany grandparents. The children of grandparents have their own families, and then the children are busy with their own work. These grandchildren go to class, study in various ways, and some have also formed their own small families. The younger generations are all busy with their own things. Naturally, they have very little time to accompany their grandparents. Fortunately, their grandparents are more understanding and never participate too much in the lives of the younger generations. As far as she knows, Raymond Lam mentioned that his uncles once planned to live with his grandparents and take care of them. But his grandparents refused. They think the children have their own lives. It is also quiet for the old couple to live together. In this regard, Raymond Lam's mother and grandparents have similar ideas. Raymond Lam's parents did not participate too much in the lives of Raymond Lam and Zhang Yuxi. After all, young people have their own lifestyles. They are very open-minded, which can also reduce many unnecessary conflicts. Although Raymond Lam's mother also wanted to bring his grandparents to live together. But his grandparents still refused. Now there are nannies to take care of daily life, family doctors, etc. Everything is complete, and the two old people think it's good. The only bad thing is that they can't see the younger generations immediately when they miss them. But fortunately, the grandparents' descendants will still visit them whenever they have time. And the grandparents have also learned how to use communication equipment and can make video calls at any time. Look, they missed Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi, so they immediately made a video call to Lin Feng. In the grandparents' concept, happiness does not necessarily mean having children to enjoy their old age. And Lin Feng's uncles come to pick up the grandparents for dinner every week, which is a family dinner, and sometimes they stay at their uncle's house for 1 or 2 nights. However, this is also the way Lin Feng's grandparents like to live. It's enough for the two old people to feel comfortable. Zhang Yuxi also understands Lin Feng's heart very well at this moment. As a younger generation, I hope that the grandparents can always be healthy and safe. Then try to take more time to go back and see them. Honey, it's okay. There's still about 20 days before the exam. After the exam, we'll go visit Grandpa and Grandma right away. Then, let's take more personal time in the future. Go back and see them more often. Okay. Zhang Yuxi comforted very gently. The main thing is that now you are here. Grandpa and Grandma miss you even more. My mom said they often miss you. Lin Feng said. Fortunately, we don't live very far from Mom and Dad. When we miss them or they miss us, we can come over anytime. That's good. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. So, let's see if my father-in-law and mother-in-law want to come closer in the future. After all, they are still some distance away. It will be easier for us to take care of them when they are closer. Anyway, there are a lot of houses. As long as my father-in-law and mother-in-law are willing to come over, they can stay any time. Lin Feng said. After all, Zhang Yuxi is also an only child, although the economic conditions of my father-in-law and mother-in-law's family are also relatively superior. Lin Feng felt that if Zhang Yuxi and he formed a new small family, they would have less and less time to spend with their parents in the future. So Lin Feng also thought that if his father-in-law and mother-in-law were willing to come here to be closer to them, he and Zhang Yuxi would be able to take care of them in the future. They could meet and chat often. They could have a meal together as a family. If his father-in-law and mother-in-law missed their daughter, they could come over at any time. Chapter 1540 Nonsense Thoughts. Although the transportation is very developed now, and my father-in-law and mother-in-law have cars. But after all, my father-in-law has his own career, so he can't get away at any time. So living closer has its advantages. It only takes half an hour to drive there. Lin Feng is mainly considering Zhang Yuxi's parents and Zhang Yuxi. He also feels sorry for his daughter-in-law and his father-in-law and mother-in-law. Maybe mom and dad are not willing to come. After all, they have lived in that place for half their lives. I have my own job and career. I don't think about it for now. Zhang Yuxi said. Although her parents love her, they are not willing to move so drastically at their age to let them leave the home they have lived in for half their lives, as well as their careers and jobs. After all, when they are older, they prefer to stay in a comfortable and familiar place. So Zhang Yuxi is more understanding. People are like this. When they reach a certain age, they don't want any changes. But Zhang Yuxi thought about it carefully. Lin Feng is so reliable, talented and capable. Maybe when he is a little older, he may change his mind. In order to have more time to meet her son-in-law and daughter, she might choose to come here to be closer to them. But for now, Zhang Yuxi still thinks that her parents may not consider it for the time being. After all, her parents are still young, and they still want to continue to work hard. Silly, there is no rush for this moment. Now my parents are still young. And we haven't got a marriage certificate yet. Wait until my parents are older to talk to them about this. No hurry now. Lin Feng smiled and said after listening to Zhang Yuxi's words. Besides, I don't think it's necessary to let my parents come now. After all, my parents have their own careers. So don't rush, take your time. Then Lin Feng continued to speak. Yet, we haven't become a formal couple yet. Zhang Yuxi said. You can't run away, my wife. You can only live with me in this life. In my heart, you are my wife. Lin Feng said seriously. How do you know I can't run away? What if it's not? Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. That's for sure. I don't want anyone but you. I won't marry anyone but you. You can only be my wife. Lin Feng said with a look of a domineering CEO. What if something unexpected happens and we can't get married? Zhang Yuxi said. Silly wife, what are you thinking about? If you don't think about good things, how can you think about bad things? No ifs. We must be together for life. I will find you in the next life and the next life. We will be together again. Lin Feng said seriously. Pucci-o, I was just talking casually. My wife suddenly became serious. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Silly, you must be serious about this. I will marry you home in the future. How can I not be serious about treating you? Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. Okay, idiot. I will definitely marry you. I will not marry you. Zhang Yuxi said. I will not marry you. Lin Feng responded immediately. I have never been able to imagine what I would do without you. I guess I can't live anymore. Or maybe I will look for you all over the world. But the only thing that is certain is that I will wait for you forever. Until you show up. If you don't show up I will keep waiting. Never marry. Because I will only marry you. I mean what I say. Zhang Yuxi suddenly said with a serious face. In fact, she has thought about this question many times in her heart. Now Lin Feng has become an indispensable part of her life. What's more, he is the most important person in her life. So she really can't imagine how she would live without Lin Feng. She has never felt a bit bored with Lin Feng since she was with him. Even though they meet every day, live together, go to school together, etc. Zhang Yuxi never feels any boredom. On the contrary, she likes to be with Lin Feng every day. She never feels bored, but just feels that there is not enough time. Even when she wakes up every morning and sees Lin Feng with a slightly messy hair. No matter which side of him he is, Zhang Yuxi thinks he is very cute and interesting. Sure enough, if you really love someone, no matter what the other person does, you will think it is lovely. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So Zhang Yuxi has always enjoyed every day with Lin Feng. It is simple and interesting. Occasionally there are some surprises. The two people love each other, take care of each other, and work hard for each other. So she really can't imagine how she will spend the days without Lin Feng? Even if Lin Feng disappears inexplicably one day, she will always wait for him until he comes out. Silly, are you thinking about it again? Why did I disappear? Don't worry, my wife, I will always be there. Whenever, as long as you need me, I will appear in front of you immediately. So I won't disappear. I will always be with you. Don't think about messy things anymore. Lin Feng said in a very gentle tone. He knew that girls often worry about gains and losses in relationships, and like to think about messy things. Before he was reborn, Zhang Yuxi was under too much pressure. Although she is very outstanding, she still hides a lot of unhappy things in her heart. So she had the idea of committing suicide at that time. Fortunately, it was Lin Feng who saved the girl he had always admired after his rebirth, that is, Zhang Yuxi. This gave them the opportunity to be together, and changed all the trajectories of Zhang Yuxi's life. The point is that they are very loving and live very happily together. So Zhang Yuxi occasionally has some crazy thoughts, and Lin Feng is very understanding. After all, every girl in love is the same. So Lin Feng has always doted on Zhang Yuxi very much, giving her all his love and a full sense of security. Hey, I was just thinking, what if there really is such a day? What if you don't want me anymore? No, I should say you disappeared. What should I do? Ho ha, why do I feel that my idea is so nonsensical? After Zhang Yuxi finished speaking, she felt weird and laughed. Chapter 1541, Living in the Heart. Silly, you also think it's nonsense, right? How could I not want you? Don't you want to not want me? That's impossible. I'm going to stick with you. Wherever you go, I'll go. Lin Feng deliberately said jokingly. Ha. Then I'll stick with you too. You can't get rid of me. Zhang Yuxi said mischievously. Lin Feng looked at the cute Zhang Yuxi in front of him, pinched Zhang Yuxi's little face, and was very doting. Husband, my heart is so small, it can't accommodate others. You're full by yourself. Then Zhang Yuxi said. That's just right, I don't plan to move out. I want to stay for a long time. I'll live here in the next life, the next life, the next life, the next life. Lin Feng smiled and said. Do I have to pay for it? You can't live here for free, Zhang Yuxi deliberately said jokingly. Naughty, all my money belongs to my wife. Do you still need to pay? All my property has been handed over. I have no money to pay, my wife. Lin Feng said with a pitiful look on his face. Ha. My husband has been wronged. Then I will punish you to love me for the rest of your life. Zhang Yuxi said with a proud face. Yes, my dear wife. It doesn't matter whether this punishment is there or not. Because I will definitely love you for the rest of your life. More than a lifetime. Lin Feng smiled and said. Hey. Then I am the same. There can only be one person living in my heart. So we are even. Zhang Yuxi said. Then you. Should I? Lin Feng said with a slight smile on his face. Then he immediately picked up Zhang Yuxi and wanted to walk to the bedroom. Oh my husband, you haven't taken a shower yet. You are dirty and haven't changed your clothes. Zhang Yuxi immediately said coquettishly. What are you thinking about, idiot? I'll carry you to take a shower. I want to take a shower with you. Lin Feng smiled and said. Oh, it's so annoying. I'm ignoring you. Zhang Yuxi immediately lowered her head shyly and said. Lin Feng looked at Zhang Yuxi, who was shy in front of him, and was even more doting. Then, Lin Feng carried Zhang Yuxi into the bathroom, and the two took a shower together. Half an hour later, Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi also took a shower. Lin Feng took the hairdryer to blow Zhang Yuxi's hair. This is something he has been doing since he and Zhang Yuxi lived together. This is also something he's willing to do. Husband, you said you often have to help me blow my hair, are you annoyed? Do you think girls are so troublesome? Or I cut my hair short? Zhang Yuxi said. Don't bother me. My silly wife, why are you saying some weird things today? You're my wife, I'm happy. And why do you want to cut your hair short? Keep it. Lin Feng said while helping Zhang Yuxi blow dry her hair. Hey. Cut your hair short, and when your hair grows to your waist next time, it will be time for you to marry me. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Then do you want to cut it? It's a pity to cut such beautiful long hair. I hope you keep it. Because I've been preparing to marry you. Just waiting until you reach the legal age for marriage. Otherwise, I want to give my wife a wedding every minute. Lin Feng said slowly. He definitely didn't want Zhang Yuxi to cut her hair short, but if Zhang Yuxi insisted on cutting it, he would definitely respect her. But he also felt that Zhang Yuxi was joking and had no intention of cutting her hair short, because she couldn't bear to cut her hair at all because of his feelings for Zhang Yuxi. After all, Zhang Yuxi's hair is so beautiful now. It's long, black, straight, and it's all natural. Zhang Yuxi's hair is just so good. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. I can't bear to cut it off. Zhang Yuxi said with a smile. Silly, I knew it. I've already guessed it. Lin Feng said. But there is a saying that you should marry me when my hair is waist length. Now my hair is waist length, husband. When you marry me, it should be as long as my buttocks. Hee. Zhang Yuxi said with a naughty look on her face. Then I will marry you when your hair is as long as your buttocks. How do you think about this? Lin Feng said deliberately jokingly. Ha 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 ha. I think it's okay. Then remember it. What if my hair grows to my buttocks in advance? Zhang Yuxi said with a big laugh. In fact, she also knew that they couldn't get a marriage certificate because they hadn't reached the legal age for marriage, so Lin Feng couldn't give her a wedding. But she also knew how much Lin Feng loved her and wanted to marry her home urgently. Unfortunately, neither of them had reached the legal age yet. So I can only wait with difficulty. Silly wife, I want the day to come sooner than anyone else. As long as we are old enough. Let's arrange this matter as soon as possible. Otherwise, if I delay any longer, what will my wife do if she runs away with someone else? Lin Feng smiled and said deliberately jokingly. I won't run away even if I'm beaten to death. Where else can I find such a good husband? Zhang Yuxi said playfully. Oh, that's the best. After all, my wife is so beautiful and excellent. I have to hurry up too. Lin Feng smiled and said. Oh, mutual what a coincidence. I thought so too. Zhang Yuxi said mischievously. So naughty. Okay, my hair is done too. Lin Feng said dotingly. Thank you, husband, thank you for your hard work. Zhang Yuxi said obediently. Then she wanted to get up immediately, but Lin Feng pressed her down and sat her on the chair. Wait. Silly wife, you haven't applied the hair oil yet. Why are you in such a hurry, my silly wife? Lin Feng said. Then he immediately took the hair oil and applied it to Zhang Yuxi's long hair. After all, it would be a pity not to spend some effort to take care of such beautiful hair. If you didn't say it, I would have forgotten it. My husband is more careful. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Stupid pig. How many girls can envy this hair? Of course you need to be more careful. Lin Feng said. You are the pig, it's natural, I inherited it from my mother. Zhang Yuxi said. That's right. My mother-in-law's hair is also very good. There is no white hair at all. And it's also long black hair. Lin Feng said. Chapter 1542 High IQ and EQ. Yeah, my mother's hair has always been long since I was a child. I've never seen her with short hair. I thought my mother's hair was so beautiful at that time. Of course my mother is also a recognized beauty. Zhang Yuxi said with some pride. After all, Zhang Yuxi's mother Zhao Lizhan was also a beauty known to everyone when she was young, just like Zhang Yuxi. Everyone would want to see her whenever she walked on the street. Of course, her mother Zhao Lizhan is also a person with higher education. So when she was in school, many boys lined up to pursue her. And she was also a school beauty like Zhang Yuxi. She was almost the dream lover of all boys. Zhang Yuxi's father also used a lot of efforts to catch her mother. Fortunately, Zhang Yuxi's father is also very handsome and capable. What Zhang Yuxi experienced is exactly the same as what her mother Zhao Lizhan experienced back then. It is conceivable that Zhang Yuxi's beauty is inherited from her parents' good genes. My mother-in-law is indeed. But even though she is old now, she is still as beautiful as ever. Beauty lies in the bones, not in the skin. She has such a good bone structure, so she is still as beautiful as ever. And my mother-in-law doesn't look old at all. Lin Feng said in agreement. Next time, say it in front of my mother, she will be so happy. Ha ha ha. Although there are still many people praising my mother. Like she often has parties and meals with people of the same age. She just looks younger than her peers. And I always think my mother is very elegant. Although in front of us, she is a little casual. But my mother gives people the feeling of being very elegant. Zhang Yuxi said with a smile on her face. You can see it, silly. When I first saw my mother, I felt that my mother was extraordinary. Very beautiful. She doesn't look like a 40-year-old woman at all. I would believe it if you said she was in her 20s. It is because my mother is so beautiful that my wife is also beautiful. Lin Feng smiled and said. That's right. People say that my mom and I look like sisters. Fortunately, my dad doesn't look bad either. Otherwise it would lower the standard, ha ha ha. Zhang Yuxi said with a smile on her face. My father-in-law is also very handsome. My wife has completely absorbed all the advantages of my parents. After all, my mom's appearance is really not to be underestimated. Lin Feng said. Ha ha ha. So you praised my mom for her beauty the first time you met her. Your mouth is like honey. No wonder my mom likes you so much. Isn't it? My husband is impeccable in terms of emotional intelligence. Zhang Yuxi laughed and said. But it is true that Lin Feng's IQ and EQ are both very online. Some people may have high IQ but not good EQ, while some people may have low IQ but very good EQ. But Lin Feng is different. Both his IQ and EQ are very high. Therefore, Lin Feng ranks first in all aspects of learning and is very sensitive. In terms of dealing with people, interpersonal communication, etc., Lin Feng is also very good. This is why Lin Feng has been able to do so many things smoothly in his career in so many fields. He has never lost money and has always been profitable. My mother likes me, not because I praise her. It must be because I am too good, so my mother likes me. Lin Feng said with confidence. After all, he still has this confidence. Yes, yes. My husband is so good. So now mom and dad love you so much? The son-in-law is so good all day long. Praise him to everyone. Now all relatives envy my parents. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. My parents are the same. They treat you better than me. Since you, a good daughter-in-law, appeared, they care about you instead of me. Grandpa and grandma like you very much? Lin Feng said. Ha ha ha. Okay, okay. Speaking of grandpa and grandma again, there will be no end. I will go back to see them as soon as I finish the exam. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Yes, okay. It's past 11, go to bed, honey. Lin Feng looked at the time and said. Yes, come here, honey. I want a hug. Zhang Yuxi said in a well-behaved manner. Wife, go to bed first, okay. I'll go to the study to see if there's anything to deal with. I'll be there in a minute. Just half an hour. Lin Feng said in a very doting manner. Yes, then I'll wait for you. Honey, go get busy. Thank you for your hard work, honey. Zhang Yuxi said very sensibly. After all, she also knew that Lin Feng was successful in his career now, and it was expanding. The more fields he was involved in and the bigger the industry, the heavier his responsibilities would be. So he needed to take some time out every day to check on what was going on at work today and whether there was anything he needed to deal with. Zhang Yuxi understood and saw this, and she felt very distressed. Because in the lives of people of the same age as Lin Feng, besides studying, they just eat, drink and have fun, and a college student might be more relaxed or more comfortable. There was no need to take care of too many things, and being happy was the most important thing. But for Lin Feng, his daily life is very well arranged. He never wastes a bit of time. Lin Feng has to go to school every day, and he also has to take time to accompany Zhang Yuxi, and of course he has to take time to deal with work. But every time Lin Feng deals with work, it is usually at night. Unless it is a particularly urgent situation, he will deal with the work after accompanying Zhang Yuxi. Because in his eyes, Zhang Yuxi is more important than work, she comes first. So in these aspects, Zhang Yuxi is very understanding. Every time Lin Feng has to deal with work, she never disturbs him, but just silently pays attention behind him, and she will appear at the first time when needed. After all, Lin Feng now manages so many companies and employees. He has more energy and time to be responsible for so many people under him. Everyone still has to rely on Lin Feng to eat and make money to live. If Lin Feng continues to go smoothly like this, then the wages and benefits of these employees will also be guaranteed to a certain extent. Therefore, Lin Feng is not only making money himself, but also the people who follow him can make money. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 1543 Resignation Application. Although there are often managers under him to deal with problems, But generally, every day Lin Feng still has to spend some time to check what is going on at work today. He pays attention all the time and will immediately resolve any problems. Wife, be good. You go to bed first. I'll come right away. It's quite late, no need to wait for me. Be good. Lin Feng said very gently. Yes, I know. I'll be obedient, Zhang Yuxi responded obediently. In fact, she said this because she wanted Lin Feng to rest assured that she would be obedient and go to bed immediately. But in fact, she still felt sorry for Lin Feng in her heart. She understood him in his hard work. So she had to agree obediently first, so that Lin Feng would be at ease. But Zhang Yuxi would definitely wait for Lin Feng to come back and sleep together. After all, she felt at ease only when Lin Feng was by her side. Yes, my wife is so good. Come and hug me. Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. Then he immediately leaned over and hugged Zhang Yuxi lying in the quilt. Husband kiss. Zhang Yuxi said coquettishly. Then Lin Feng kissed Zhang Yuxi. Okay. Go to sleep. Cover yourself up. I've adjusted the air conditioner. I'll go take care of it. Go to sleep, my wife. Lin Feng said gently. Yes. Go ahead, husband. Zhang Yuxi nodded and said. Then Lin Feng turned on a small night light, turned off the main light and went out. Because whenever he was not with Zhang Yuxi, he would leave a small night light for Zhang Yuxi when he came back. He knew that Zhang Yuxi was insecure and afraid of the dark, so turning on the small night light would be slightly bright, so that Zhang Yuxi could sleep more peacefully. The many small details that Lin Feng brought to Zhang Yuxi were enough to prove how much he cared about Zhang Yuxi. Mainly, for anything Zhang Yuxi did, even if it was a very small thing, he would never forget and would do it as always. After Zhang Yuxi saw Lin Feng close the door and go out, she quietly got up and leaned against the head of the bed, picking up a half-read book. She was reading quietly again. Because Lin Feng was busy with work, she couldn't sleep, so she might as well get up and read a book. Reading before going to bed has always been Zhang Yuxi's habit. She would read before going to bed every night. In fact, it's not that she would read before going to bed. Sometimes when she has free time, she would go back to the school library to read. But it is true that reading more books can make your knowledge reserve more sufficient. Not only does she have a beautiful appearance, Zhang Yuxi is also very profound. Basically, in everyone's eyes, she is a perfectionist. This is why everyone has never found any fault with her. In the eyes of others, Zhang Yuxi is a very excellent and perfect girl. Everyone often says that no one is perfect. But this sentence doesn't seem to work on Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi. Because Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi are both very perfect people. Zhang Yuxi's girlfriend said that it was probably Nuwa who fabricated people and put all the beautiful parts on Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi. So there is no flaw in the two of them. On the other side, Lin Feng is quickly dealing with work. There are several messages from the second brother Chen Kun. I opened it and found that there was a small problem with a restaurant he managed. It turned out that the chef of another store was planning to quit. The reason was not because of insufficient salary or poor benefits. The reason he wanted to resign was not because his wife was going to give birth. It was almost due. So he simply planned to resign and return to his hometown to accompany his wife to give birth. Moreover, it was not a long-term solution for the couple to live apart like this. But the house prices here were too expensive, and he could not afford it for the time being. Although the salary was quite high, he still could not come up with a down payment. After all, the down payment alone would cost more than 1 million yuan in a place outside the suburbs. Even if the chef borrowed money from everywhere, he could not come up with that much money. Moreover, he had children and elderly parents, and now there was a baby about to be born. There were even more expenses in the future. Buying a house here was even more unimaginable. After all, the house prices in the chef's hometown were relatively cheap. In third and fourth tier cities, a down payment of 200,000 or 300,000 yuan would be enough. Under the current circumstances, this was what he could do. So for long-term considerations, he decided not to continue working in the big city. He planned to resign and go back to his hometown to find a job. It would be nice to be with his family. Raymond Lam looked at the message sent by Chen Kun carefully. But it happened that the chef of this branch was a rare good chef. Not only was his cooking level first class, but basically none of the customers who came to the store were dissatisfied. They all praised the chef's cooking level. Many people were repeat customers. Moreover, it was a chain store, and it was a relatively large and well-known restaurant. If the chef was replaced, it would definitely affect a large number of customers. It is possible that the reputation would also decline. After all, when selecting chefs for each branch, it took a lot of time and energy to find the right one. Now the chef is facing this situation and plans to resign, which makes Raymond Lam feel a pity. After all, good horses are rare. So Raymond Lam plans to find a way to keep the chef. Because before Raymond Lam took over the catering industry, the salary and benefits of the chef were not so good. It can be said that in the same field and industry, Raymond Lam's salary and benefits are the highest. Of course, there are many types of catering industry, but in the case of the same type of catering, the welfare is much higher than others. Of course, the requirements for talents are also at a certain high level. Since Lin Feng took over, the salary has also increased a lot, and a lot of benefits have been added in various aspects. So for a relatively young man in his 30s, it is basically difficult to settle down in a big city. It is conceivable that this chef is also very good. He has reached a very high level at the age of 30. He is really a talent in the chef world. Since this chef is also a late marriage, he just got married 2 years ago. And he used his savings to buy a house in his hometown, spending 300,000 or 400,000 yuan for the down payment. In addition, because his wife was pregnant and had a child, she could not work. So the burden of the family was on the chef. So he was very reluctant to resign at first. After all, since Lin Feng took over, the salary and benefits offered were really very high. The salary was 25% higher than his previous original basis. So even if he supports his family alone, he can also bring security to his family. However, since his child is about to be born in a few days, he is really worried about leaving his wife and children alone at home. Because the chef's parents have been divorced for a long time, he also grew up in a divorced family. So he can better understand the hardships and the important role of a father in the family. Although his wife has always been his supporter behind him. Let him work hard outside with peace of mind. But after a long period of thinking, the chef decided to give up his current high-paying job, go back to his hometown to be with his wife and children, and find a job that may be relatively low paid. He thought that at least the family can live together. Go home from get off work to have hot meals and time with family. Because he grew up in an environment lacking love, he can better understand the loneliness. He must not let his children go his way. After all, fathers play a big role in the growth of children. Children grow up very fast, and if you miss it, you miss it. So, after making the decision, the chef submitted a resignation application to Chen Kun, the person in charge of the store. And Chen Kun also learned about the current situation of the chef after some time. I reported this to Raymond Lam. Chapter 1544 Confused. Lin Feng saw Chen Kun's message. So he picked up his phone and called Chen Kun. Beep beep beep. The phone rang a few times. Boss. The second-in-command Chen Kun's voice came from the other end of the phone. Actually, I just took a rough look. Is the chef sure to resign? Lin Feng said slowly. Yes, that's right. I have submitted my resignation application. I plan to go back next month. This problem is indeed a tricky one. After all, he is a great chef. It will be difficult for us to find a suitable one if he leaves. And there are many repeat customers. Chen Kun said. How is the current daily flow of people in the store? Lin Feng said very calmly. All very good. After all, our current reputation is very good. So many people come here because of our reputation. And many of them are repeat customers. The flow of people is basically full. Chen Kun said. Then how do you think we should deal with this matter? What do you think? Lin Feng said very calmly. In fact, the purpose of asking this question was to see what Chen Kun thought. After all, he is now the person in charge of this store, the top manager. And under normal circumstances, the person in charge can think of a solution to the problem. Or just ask the boss, and of course the boss will listen to your opinion. However, after all, Chen Kun is still a novice, and he does not know all aspects very well. He has relatively little experience. Now that this situation has happened, Lin Feng also wants to know what he will do. Lin Feng also wants to know if Chen Kun has any solutions or opinions. After all, the resignation of the chef is a big deal, not a small matter. Many customers come to this store for its reputation and taste. If a chef is suddenly replaced, I don't know if it will affect the flow of customers and taste. After all, many of this store's customers are repeat customers. and a lot of time and energy were spent on selecting the chef. If there is no best solution, the flow of people in the store will definitely be affected. This. I'm still confused. After all, it happened a little too suddenly. But that's true. I may have been a little careless in management. I didn't notice the chef's situation. I didn't handle and report it in time. After all, the resignation application has been submitted now, Chen Kun said with some self-blame. In the process of communicating with the chef, I also tried to retain him. After all, our salary and benefits are incomparable. Many aspects are not as good as ours. But it seems that the chef's intention to resign has not changed much. Plus, his wife is due to give birth in a few days. So, Chen Kun continued to shake his head and said, "Second brother, do you think there is any way to deal with it? Now you are mainly the person in charge of this store. What do you think?" Lin Feng said. Big brother. It's like this. I think we can get another raise. Maybe. Chen Kun thought for a while and said, "Raise? What is the main problem of the chef?" Lin Feng asked. The main problem is that he and his family are living in different places for a long time. And it's not realistic to bring his wife here. The house prices here are expensive. And the mortgage payment for the house in his hometown is every month. His wife is about to give birth again. Chen Kun said slowly. So, how sure do you think a salary increase will make him stay? Lin Feng continued to ask. Well, this. To be honest, I'm not sure. But we can try. Although his current salary is already very high. Maybe he will stay if he gets a little more. Chen Kun explained. You also said. His salary is already high among his peers. Then raising his salary won't help him. And you know his situation. The main problem is that he and his wife and children are living in different places for a long time. This is something he can't change at the moment, right? Lin Feng said. Yes, yes, yes. I don't have any other opinions except raising the salary. Chen Kun said. Lin Feng was silent for a while after hearing what Chen Kun said. He felt that Chen Kun's idea of raising the salary was indeed correct. Because this chef is indeed a talent. He is really good at cooking. So losing such a good chef is indeed a loss for the store. Although the chef has apprentices or assistants in their 20s. But after all, the chef is still the chef, and the technical level is incomparable. This is also why many managers retain talents by increasing salaries and other aspects. But it is true that the situation of this chef is more difficult now. If there is a problem with salary and benefits, it is easier to solve. But now it involves the other party's living conditions. However, Lin Feng has already made a decision and idea in his heart. Let's do this. I will go to the store after class tomorrow at noon. You arrange it. Lin Feng thought for a while and said. Okay. Boss, I will go with you tomorrow at noon. It just so happens that we don't have classes in the afternoon. Chen Kun said. Well, let me see if Yuxi has classes. If not, take her with you. Lin Feng said. Okay. Boss, you never forget to bring your sister-in-law wherever you go. Chen Kun teased on the other end of the phone. Damn it. That's for sure. I have to report this to your sister-in-law. Your sister-in-law is the main decision maker. She has to nod her head. Lin Feng smiled and said. Ha 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 ha. Sure enough, my sister-in-law is the most important. I'm being fed a wave of dog food for no reason at this time. Chen Kun laughed and said. Hubby, what are you laughing about? What decision are you going to make? At this time, Zhang Yuxi walked in and asked. Wife, why haven't you slept yet? Did I disturb you? Lin Feng immediately stood up, walked to Zhang Yuxi, touched her head and said. Boss, I'll hang up first. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Chen Kun said very tactfully at this time. Lin Feng said. Then he hung up the phone. Hubby, what's wrong? What happened? Zhang Yuxi asked with a puzzled look on her face. Don't worry about it, wife. Why haven't you slept yet? You're not being good. Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. I didn't. Because I saw you haven't come over for such a long time. I felt uneasy. So. Zhang Yuxi stared at Lin Feng with innocent eyes and said. Chapter 1545 Bold Idea. Lin Feng immediately looked at the time. It was already past 12 o'clock. It was only past 11 when he came to the study room just now. Now an hour has passed. No wonder Zhang Yuxi would. Silly wife. I told you to go to bed first. I'll come when I'm done. I don't want you to stay up late. Lin Feng said in a gentle tone. Then I saw that you haven't come for a long time. So I thought about getting up and taking a look. Anyway, I can't sleep. Zhang Yuxi looked at Lin Feng with round eyes and said. Okay. I'll go back to sleep with you now. Okay, silly. Lin Feng smiled and said. Then he turned off the light in the study room, picked up Zhang Yuxi and walked to the bedroom. Gently put Zhang Yuxi on the bed and put the phone next to the bedside table. Husband, you haven't told me what happened just now. What did I decide? Is there something? Zhang Yuxi said with a puzzled look. After all, she vaguely heard what Lin Feng said when she came to the study room just now. But she didn't know what it was. It just sounded like something about work. She was not very reassured, thinking that maybe something had gone wrong with Lin Feng's career. And after talking for so long, this matter should be more difficult to deal with. Go to bed first, okay, silly wife. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Can't stay up late. Lin Feng said. I don't. You are arousing my curiosity. Can't wait until tomorrow. Zhang Yuxi said with a coquettish look on her face. Can't be coquettish. There's no way to be coquettish. You go to bed obediently. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Lin Feng said with a look of a domineering president. After all, this matter can't be explained in a few words. So Lin Feng wanted Zhang Yuxi to go to bed first and talk about it tomorrow. Because if he continued to talk, it would probably take at least half an hour to talk about it, and it would be 1 o'clock, and he would have to get up early to go to class tomorrow. Of course, he did this mainly because he felt sorry for Zhang Yuxi. But then again, he did this to arouse the other party's curiosity. How could he sleep? Isn't this just eager to know what happened? People are like this. They heard something, but they were not clear about it. They wanted to know what it was. But they had to delay it. Isn't it uncomfortable? Hey no. Tell me now. I'm not sleepy anymore. What's the matter, husband? Just tell me. Zhang Yuxi immediately started to act cute and coquettish. She kept clinging to Lin Feng's arms and acting cute. My wife. She has begun to disobey me. What should I do? Lin Feng smiled and said. He couldn't stand Zhang Yuxi acting cute. He softened his heart immediately, and his eyes were full of pampering. Oh, Hey. Zhang Yuxi kissed Lin Feng on the face again and kept acting cute and smiling. Okay, silly. Let's go to bed after that. Lie here. Lin Feng said. Then he hugged Zhang Yuxi tightly in his arms, and Zhang Yuxi lay on Lin Feng's chest. I just talked to Chen Kun. The chef of the store he manages is planning to resign. The reason is that he has been separated from his family for a long time. In a few days, it will be his wife's due date. But the child is born again. So he plans to go back to live with us, at least he can take care of us. The housing prices in big cities are too expensive and he can't afford it, and it's not realistic to take him over. So, that's what happened. I plan to go there after class tomorrow afternoon. Lin Feng told Zhang Yuxi everything that happened before. So that's the case. That's right. Long-term separation is not a solution. Zhang Yuxi said. Well, that's why he plans to resign. Wife, do you have a class tomorrow afternoon? If not, I'll take you with me. Lin Feng asked. Tomorrow afternoon. Originally, I had class, but as luck would have it, the class monitor just notified in the group that the teacher has something to do tomorrow afternoon. So, the class was temporarily adjusted. There happens to be no class in the afternoon. I'll go with you. Zhang Yuxi said. Well, okay. Wife, how do you think we should deal with this? Lin Feng said. Well, I think this is quite sudden. And the chef's skills are impeccable. If we change to someone else, it may affect our reputation. After all, the store has many repeat customers. Another problem is that it is not easy to find a suitable chef. Time, energy, etc. Zhang Yuxi thought for a while and said. Lin Feng listened to Zhang Yuxi's words carefully, and agreed with her in his heart. Speaking of salary increase, I don't think it is necessary. The main thing is that the chef's problem now cannot be solved by salary increase. It's just a little better than the original basis, it can't solve the actual problem. Besides, his current salary is very generous compared to his peers. It's obvious that he didn't choose to leave because of this problem. So if the salary is increased, it won't have much effect on him. Zhang Yuxi continued to speak slowly. Well, I also think that a salary increase is not very useful. Even if you offer a salary increase, it may not make the chef stay. I originally wanted to let the second son handle it himself. After all, he is the one who manages the store now. But I talked to him before, and it seems that it still can't be solved. So let's go and talk in person after class tomorrow at noon. Lin Feng said. Yes, husband, I'll go with you tomorrow. Anyway, I don't have a classes in the afternoon either. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Okay, I was planning to take you with me. I was just afraid that you had classes in the afternoon. It just so happens that you don't have a classes either. Lin Feng said very dotingly. Husband, actually I have a bold idea. I don't know. Zhang Yuxi thought for a while and said. What idea? Tell me about it, wife. Lin Feng said. In fact, he already had a solution to the chef's resignation in his mind, but after all, Zhang Yuxi was still very important in his heart. So he still wanted to discuss it with Zhang Yuxi and respect her ideas. Because the final decision was still made by Zhang Yuxi. So he specifically asked Zhang Yuxi about her thoughts and opinions on this matter. In Lin Feng's opinion, many things are decided by his wife. Husband, it's like this. I think the chef is also a good man who takes care of the family. And there is a baby who is about to be born in his hometown. He can't be with his wife at such an important moment. Indeed. So I understand the chef's decision. So I thought, why don't we help them buy a house? Of course we only pay the down payment. Let them solve the mortgage themselves. This way he and his wife and children can live together in the future. Husband, what do you think? Zhang Yuxi said. Chapter 1546. My wife looks good even if she wears a sack. Well, I was planning to do that. After all, it's probably a bit difficult for the chef to come up with a down payment of 1 million to buy a house. So I wanted to see what my wife thinks. It mainly depends on your agreement. But now the chef has a house in his hometown and needs to pay off the mortgage every month. If we help him buy a house with a down payment here, they will have to pay at least more than 10,000 yuan in mortgage every month. In addition to his hometown. And his children are still young, and his wife may not be able to work. It's probably a bit difficult to put all the burdens on him. Although his current income is still considerable, his expenses are too high. I don't know if the chef can accept it. Lin Feng said slowly. What he said is indeed true. After all, not everyone is as capable and lucky as him. Well, this is indeed a big problem. All the expenses of the family fall on him. But fortunately, the chef is still a good person. Now he still thinks about his wife. Zhang Yuxi said. Okay, honey. Let's go to bed first. I'll go over and talk to the chef tomorrow at noon. See what he thinks. Lin Feng said. Yes, I think we can actually sell the house in our hometown. That way we can save a little money every month. We'll choose a decorated house for them here. It's estimated to cost more than 1 million. It depends on whether his wife is willing to come. Zhang Yuxi said. Good boy, go to bed first. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We don't know what the person involved thinks now. Lin Feng said. Logically speaking, Lin Feng thought this plan was feasible. After all, he was so generous and enthusiastic to help the chef's family, which was unimaginable for many ordinary people. Yet, it's 1 o'clock. Good night, husband, Zhang Yuxi said very obediently. Good night, wife. Lin Feng responded. Then the two fell asleep. The next morning, Zhang Yuxi woke up slowly. Looking at Lin Feng, who was still sleeping soundly, she didn't wake him up. She picked up the phone beside the bed and took a look. It was almost 7 o'clock. So she gently put down the phone and climbed out of the quilt on tiptoe. Then she took the remote control on the table and adjusted the temperature of the air conditioner. After all, it was summer in June and the weather was very hot, so she slept with the quilt on and the air conditioner on every day. And the temperature in the morning was not that high compared to the whole day. So Zhang Yuxi adjusted the temperature of the air conditioner. Then she walked out of the bedroom quietly. She wanted Lin Feng to sleep a little longer. Usually when the two were together, Lin Feng would get up in the morning to make breakfast for Zhang Yuxi. Occasionally, Zhang Yuxi would get up early to make breakfast for Lin Feng. Zhang Yuxi came to the kitchen and steamed 2 eggs first. Then she washed the soybeans and black beans and put them in the soy milk machine. Next, she went to the refrigerator to get some sugar-free whole wheat toast and heated it up. She added some tomato slices and some lettuce on the toast. Then she sliced a ham sausage, fried it and spread it on the toast. After making these, breakfast eggs and soy milk were also ready. Zhang Yuxi put down the things in her hands and went to the bedroom to look at Lin Feng. At this time, Lin Feng also slowly woke up. Wife hug. Lin Feng said with hazy eyes in a coquettish tone. Hubby, good morning. Get up quickly. The sun is shining on your butt. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Then she immediately came to the bed, lifted the quilt, and gently slapped Lin Feng's butt. Wife, hug first. Hurry up. Lin Feng continued to speak coquettishly. I have a silly husband come. Hug, Zhang Yuxi said with a smile on her face. Then Lin Feng immediately hugged Zhang Yuxi in his arms. Oh. I can't breathe. My husband wants me to die. Zhang Yuxi deliberately said jokingly. Wife, I love you. One kiss. Lin Feng said very gently. Then he immediately kissed Zhang Yuxi on the forehead again. Okay. Get up. Otherwise you'll be late for class. Get up, let's go wash up together. Breakfast is ready. Zhang Yuxi said. Okay, my dear wife. Thank you for your hard work, my dear wife. Lin Feng said. Then the two went to the bathroom to brush their teeth and wash their faces. After washing up, they went to have breakfast together. Lin Feng looked at the breakfast that Zhang Yuxi had prepared on the table, and his heart instantly warmed up. Thank you, my dear wife. It looks so appetizing. Thank you for your hard work, my dear wife. Lin Feng smiled and said. You're welcome. Eat quickly, my dear husband. I'll go to school after eating. Zhang Yuxi said. I'll peel the eggs for you first. Lin Feng said. Honey, I didn't put too much rock sugar in this soy milk. Eat less sweets, just a little bit is fine. Zhang Yuxi said. It's okay, no matter what my wife cooks, it tastes good. Lin Feng smiled and said. After all, he had also eaten the food made by Zhang Yuxi, and the taste was also unique. Zhang Yuxi's cooking skills are still very good. But most of the time, Lin Feng cooks for Zhang Yuxi himself and makes what Zhang Yuxi likes to eat. And the main thing is that Lin Feng's cooking skills are comparable to the level of a 5-star restaurant. Honey, I'm full. Go clean up first. Zhang Yuxi said. After all, girls are more tedious than boys before going out. And it takes more time. So Zhang Yuxi hurriedly finished breakfast and went to the dressing room to tidy up. Although with her beauty, even without makeup, she thinks she can beat everyone. It doesn't affect her beauty at all. But, after all, she has to go to the store with Lin Feng to deal with some things at noon. So she still has to dress up a little and put on light makeup. But Zhang Yuxi has always been light makeup. After all, her appearance doesn't need heavy makeup at all. Go. Silly wife. I'll just clean up the dishes. Lin Feng said with a doting look. Okay. Thank you for your hard work, husband. Zhang Yuxi said with a smile. Then she immediately went to clean herself up. After all, time is urgent. On the other side, Lin Feng was cleaning up the dishes, and he finished it after a few minutes. Lin Feng also went to the cloakroom and looked for clothes. Then he finished it in less than a few minutes. Husband. I'll be ready soon. Zhang Yuxi said hurriedly. Silly, don't worry. I checked the time, there's enough time. Lin Feng smiled and said. Oh, it's almost there. I'll just change my clothes. Zhang Yuxi said. Wife, wear this skirt today. This skirt was just bought last time. Lin Feng took a white skirt and put it in front of Zhang Yuxi and said. Ha. We are in sync. I'm going to wear this one too. Zhang Yuxi said with a smile. No way, this is tacit understanding. Although my wife looks good in anything. But this one is newly bought, so I want you to wear this one. Lin Feng said. You're so sweet early in the morning. I'll wear this skirt. Zhang Yuxi said teasingly. Then she took the skirt from Lin Feng and changed it in the cloakroom. That's right. My wife looks good even if she wears a sack. After all, this beauty is rare in the world. Lin Feng smiled and said. Okay. A husband as good as mine is rare in the world. Zhang Yuxi said mischievously. That's a must. There's only one. And it's exclusively for Zhang Yuxi. Lin Feng said confidently. Ha. Look at what you can do. Zhang Yuxi said deliberately jokingly. Huh? Husband. It's not easy to tie the back. Zhang Yuxi said. Silly wife. Come here. I'll tie it for you. Lin Feng said. The two of them were bickering with each other. Finally, they were going out. Fortunately, the place where they lived was very close to the school, otherwise they would be late if they were so slow. Then Lin Feng took Zhang Yuxi to the parking garage to pick up the car, and then they went to school together. When they arrived near the school, many classmates also rushed to the classroom for class one after another. Lin Feng found a parking lot and parked his car, then followed Zhang Yuxi to the classroom in a hurry. It just so happened that the two had classes in the same teaching building this morning, but on different floors. Lin Feng was on the 3rd floor, and Zhang Yuxi was on the 5th floor. "Wife, go quickly. I'll wait for you downstairs after class at noon today." Lin Feng stopped on the 3rd floor and said, "Yes, I know. Bye, husband," Zhang Yuxi said. Then she immediately continued to climb the stairs and headed towards the 5th floor. As a result, just a few seconds after Zhang Yuxi stepped into the classroom, the class bell rang. This was also within Zhang Yuxi's expectations. Because since she moved out with Lin Feng, she almost entered the classroom on time every day. This has become a habit. As long as she is not late, it will be fine. "Goddess, you are here. Come here," Xiaoyu said. "Yuxi. Here. Li Yi also called out. Because every morning when there is a class, Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends will arrive in the classroom first, and then either sit in a row of 4 or sit 2 people in front and back. Every time, they will reserve a good seat for Zhang Yuxi, and of course other classmates in the class will naturally not sit in Zhang Yuxi's seat. After all, these are close friends and the classmates know it. "I'm so tired. Running all the way up," Zhang Yuxi said breathlessly after sitting down. "So, Yuxi, you should move back and live with us. Ha ha ha. Then you don't have to rush so much every morning." Li Yi smiled and said, "What is this silly girl thinking? If you want Yuxi to live back in school, you have to get past her husband first. Otherwise, there's no way." Suanna also laughed and said, "That's it. Lin Feng probably bought us off with a meal. All 5-star restaurants." Xiaoyu deliberately said jokingly. "Ha ha ha ha." Zhang Yuxi and several girlfriends laughed. "You silly girls. What are you thinking about?" Zhang Yuxi shook her head helplessly and said, "I miss you. Hehe. But I was just kidding. Lin Feng definitely doesn't agree with Yuxi returning to live in school. After all, Yuxi is his fiancée now." Li Yi smiled and said. Chapter 1547 The Goddess of Luck Favors. "Besides, they are all engaged, what about us? Hey. If our boyfriends are as awesome as Lin Feng, we are willing to move out too," Xiaoyu complained. "Ha ha ha. Funny. Let's not think about it for now. Just wait," Suanna deliberately said jokingly. Okay, the teacher is here," Zhang Yuxi reminded. With Zhang Yuxi's reminder, several girlfriends instantly quieted down. After all, the teacher of today's class is a female teacher who is usually serious. And she is a little younger. Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends instantly became much more honest, mainly because they dared to provoke this teacher. Because this teacher is not like the young male teacher last time, you can joke with him. "Okay, sorry, classmates. There was something going on before, so I was delayed for a few minutes. Next, let's continue the class. Explain the exercises assigned yesterday." The middle-aged female teacher came to the podium and said. At this time, the students in the audience were silent. Because they didn't dare to make too much noise, everyone was very self-conscious. After all, this course is also a major course, so it must be taken seriously. So, Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends all went to class quietly. Time passed by minute. Finally, the last class of the morning was over. Ding-ling-ling. The bell rang, and the students in the class became restless. The whole teaching building was filled with bustling noises. Everyone was going downstairs. "Yuxi, do you want to eat together at noon?" Li Yi asked. "Yes, Yuxi, do you want to eat together? We don't have classes in the afternoon, and we plan to go shopping together in the afternoon. Do you want to join us?" Suanna said. "Let's go together, the weather is so good. It's just a little hot, haha." Xiaoyu smiled and said. Zhang Yuxi was about to speak, but was interrupted by these girlfriends. "Let's stop talking. Yuxi hasn't spoken yet," Suanna reminded immediately. "You guys are so excited. Not this afternoon. I have to go to the store managed by Chen Kun with Lin Feng to deal with some things. So, only next time," Zhang Yuxi said slowly. "Chen Kun. But I did hear something from him last night. I didn't ask in detail. It seems to be about a chef over there, right?" Suanna said. "Ah. What happened? Is it a big problem? Li said with a confused look on her face. Okay. It's a bit tricky. But it should be solvable. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. At this time, she and her girlfriends were walking downstairs while chatting. Lin Feng and several brothers were already waiting downstairs in the teaching building. When Lin Feng saw Zhang Yuxi coming down, he immediately walked up to her and held her hand. Wife? Lin Feng called gently. Let's go eat first. Go after dinner. It's time for dinner now, there's no rush. Lin Feng turned around and spoke to the brothers behind him. He was mainly worried that Zhang Yuxi would be hungry, otherwise they could go to the store over there to eat. But it would take about an hour to get there from school, and it would be around 1 o'clock by then. So Lin Feng suggested eating lunch first before going there. Okay, big brother, you decide. Then we'll eat first and then go there. Chen Kun, the second brother, said. Well, let's go eat together. I've booked a restaurant. You guys drive there by yourselves, to the same restaurant as last time. Lin Feng said. Okay. The second brother and I can drive one car each. Suhi said. Thanks to my goddess, we can eat delicious food again. 5-star restaurant. Li said excitedly. It's mainly because our Yuxi's fiancé is so awesome. He often treats us to meals, haha. Xiaoyu smiled and said. We can't help it, who made us so lucky to be Yuxi's bestie? The goddess of luck favors us. Suana said. Okay, hurry up and get in the car and go. Do you want to eat? You guys. Chen Kun said with a smile. If he didn't remind these girls, they would probably keep talking. Ha. Stop talking. Hurry up and go eat. Still talking non-stop. Chen Kun can't stand it anymore. Zhang Yuxi deliberately said jokingly. Oh. Right away. Hurry up and get in the car. Eating is the most important thing. Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends immediately said excitedly. Afterwards, Lin Feng took Zhang Yuxi to the parking lot to pick up the car, and then they set off to the restaurant together. 10 minutes later, they arrived at the restaurant. Because Lin Feng is a VIP customer of this restaurant, almost everyone in the store knows him. Lin Feng booked a private room, and the waiter took them to the private room. Lin Feng had already ordered the dishes when he was in school. So when they arrived at the restaurant, the dishes were served one after another. Let's eat. I've ordered the dishes in advance. Otherwise we'd have to wait too long. Just order whatever you want. Lin Feng said slowly. Boss, you've already figured out our tastes. These are the dishes we like. They're also the ones we order most often. Chen Dongyun said. Nonsense. We eat and drink with the boss every day. It's strange that he's not familiar with us. Chen Kun complained immediately. Ha. Let's eat quickly. Eat even if there's food, we can't stop our mouths, right? Suhi said deliberately jokingly. See. You're talking about us girls, but you guys are also talkative. Li said with a smile. Wife, let them chat for a while. Let's eat first. Lin Feng said jokingly. Then he picked up some food for Zhang Yuxi. They can't get through the day without arguing with each other a few times. As expected, we're all friends, we can joke around. Zhang Yuxi said while eating. Ha. Everyone laughed at the table. I've eaten here so many times. I never get tired of it. Li said. Silly. This is a 5-star restaurant, the food is first-rate. Her boyfriend Suhi said. Yes, boss is a super VIP here. Boss won't come here often if the food isn't good. Chen Dongyun said. Chapter 1548, Status Lost. But compared to our store, it's still a little bit worse, right? After all, our reputation is very good. Chen Kun said proudly. That's a must. Our brand is the front line. Chen Dongyun said immediately. Take all of you. The catering we do is different from this one. We mainly serve local dishes. The dishes are very different. There is no comparison. Lin Feng said slowly. However, since Lin Feng took over the catering industry, he has indeed been doing very well. Not only has his reputation been greatly improved, but almost everyone in China knows about it. Customers are full of praise for the taste and service. And the decoration of the store is even more unique. So before taking over, many people had a good impression. But after Lin Feng perfected all aspects, it became even more perfect. Many tourists or customers from other places came here because of his reputation. The main reason is that everyone also knows about Lin Feng, the boss behind this restaurant. It also makes everyone have a very good impression of Lin Feng. The young and promising young man has such great achievements and talents. Everyone came here to witness the love between Raymond Lam and his beloved wife Zhang Yuxi. Although the three brothers are currently managing 3 restaurants respectively. But there will be others joining in every place in the country, and he will also strictly control the requirements. Therefore, Raymond Lam is also very successful in the catering industry. Then, he will continue to work hard to expand the business and involve more other types of catering. He will give full play to his talents and abilities in every field. Because he knows that Zhang Yuxi likes desserts, and she also has the idea of starting her own business. So he will definitely open a dessert shop in the future. It depends on when Zhang Yuxi has time to learn and has this plan before opening it. But it is indeed our own restaurant. The taste is indeed first class. Business is booming every day. Even if it's not the weekend. Suhi said. After all, the salary, benefits and other benefits offered by the boss to the chefs are very generous. Chen Dongyun said. Yes, the chefs don't have this level, and the boss won't offer such a high salary. The taste requirements should still be higher. Chen Kun also said. We were planning to go there to eat. But it will take some time to get there. So let's finish lunch here and then go there. Lin Feng said slowly. However, you can eat there in the evening before coming back. If you want. Then Lin Feng continued to speak. Well. Sisters, let's go together. Let's go there to eat some delicious food. I don't have classes in the afternoon and evening anyway. Zhang Yuxi smiled and said. Sure. You guys can all bring your girlfriends with you. While I'm going there to deal with things, you guys can just wander around if you have nothing to do. Lin Feng said. Okay. I've been thinking about eating the delicious food there for a long time. I never had the chance. Xiaoyu said excitedly. Ha. I was planning to go there too, even if you didn't invite me. Li Yi said deliberately jokingly. Little guy, you're getting more and more shameless. Huh? Boyfriend Sui said jokingly. That's a must. After all, only thick-skinned people can eat meat. Thin-skinned people are useless in this era. Li Yi said with a smile. Ha. Everyone laughed. It seems that everyone is a food lover. Everyone is sensitive about food. I know where there are delicious foods. Zhang Yuxi said jokingly. Hey, sister-in-law. That's right for the boss. The boss is the one who really knows how to eat. We can only eat so many delicious foods because we follow the boss. Chen Dongyun smiled and said. That's right. When it comes to eating, no one can compare to the boss. Not only does he cook delicious food, he also knows where to find all kinds of delicious food. We are lucky to know him. Chen Kun said. You all missed the point. Isn't it because of us Yuxi? Without Yuxi, none of you can eat such high-end and delicious food. Li Yi said with a proud face. Yes, that's right. Without Yuxi, Lin Feng wouldn't personally cook delicious food for you. You wish. Xiaoyu also said. So are we proud to be Yuxi's besties? Suanna blinked and said playfully. Proud? Then Zhang Yuxi's 3 besties said in unison. Ha. Very proud. Li Yi said shyly. Lin Feng and his brothers couldn't help laughing when they heard the proud looks of these girls. Lin Feng's roommates looked at their girlfriends with proud and shy looks. They didn't say much. After all, whatever their girlfriends said was right. Just cooperate with them as much as possible. Yes. Very right. That makes sense. Chen Dongyun actively cooperated and said. Of course, we also think it's the credit of my sister-in-law. Otherwise, we really wouldn't have so many opportunities to eat such expensive and delicious food. Sui smiled and said. I think my girlfriend is right. You two's girlfriends are right too. Chen Kun said with a smile. You are the naughtiest. You keep talking nonsense. My girlfriend is right. I will listen to her from now on. Is that okay? Girlfriend Sue said with a smile. Admit defeat. You must listen. Listen. Girlfriend is the most important. Chen Kun said deliberately jokingly. Oh my. The second one is afraid of his wife? Your position is at risk. Chen Dongyun shouted immediately. Ha. The girls all laughed. You said it as if you are not afraid. You are more powerful, right? Zhang Yuxi said teasingly. Wife, he is definitely not afraid. He doesn't look like a man who is afraid of his wife. Right, the fourth one. Lin Feng also teased Chen Dongyan. No, no. Big brother sister-in-law, don't trick me. Chen Dongyan said anxiously. Chapter 1549 Kneeling on durian at night. Oh, so the fourth brother is not afraid of his wife? Xiaoyu, you are not in a good position. Let him be so arrogant. Chen Kun immediately counterattacked and teased. Ha ha ha. Impossible. Chen Dongyan just says the most hateful words and does the most cowardly things. Li Yi complained. Don't lead the rhythm. I have to kneel on durian tonight. My girlfriend is the most. Xiaoyu is the most. Chen Dongyan immediately admitted his cowardice and laughed at himself. You don't have to kneel on durian. After all, I don't like durian, but you do. You can still eat durian after kneeling. The point is that durian is still quite expensive now. So forget it. Xiaoyu smiled and said. Are you missing a butt? Zhang Yuxi said with a smile on her face. Ha ha ha, I can't laugh anymore. Sure enough, my goddess understands me. But you still have to kneel on the washboard. After all, washboards are cheaper. Xiaoyu laughed and said. As a result, everyone at the dinner table laughed as soon as Xiaoyu said this. Even Lin Feng, who was usually aloof in front of them and spoke less than the other brothers, laughed. Everyone was watching the two dickering and watching the fun. However, this scene often happens between Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends and Lin Feng's brothers. This group of friends is also a source of happiness. No matter where you are, as long as they are there, it will basically not be dull. Because everyone can make jokes and won't care too much. Everyone's personality is very good. So it is normal to quarrel and hurt each other frequently and fight. The main reason is that these people are originally very good friends. Because of the relationship between Lin Feng and Zhang Yuxi. Lin Feng's brothers and Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends have become lovers. In this way, everyone had a happy lunch. At this time, Lin Feng, who was standing aside, looked at his watch and it was already past 1 o'clock. So he had to go to the main store to deal with things. Are you all full? I'll go over there after you're full. Lin Feng said slowly. Boss, we're going to meet at 3 o'clock. And they don't start work until 2 o'clock. It's just right to go back now. Chen Kun said on the side. Then let's go quickly. It'll take about an hour to get there. Suanna said. Then, Lin Feng went to get the car with him. Well, second brother, third brother, each of you drive a car over there. Fourth brother, you don't need to drive. Lin Feng said to his brothers. Okay, boss. Fourth brother, see whose car you want to sit in. Chen Kun said. If I have a choice, of course I want to sit in the boss's car. After all, it's a Ferrari. Chen Dongyan said with a smile. Stinky boy. You wish. Lin Feng said. You mean you want to sit in your sister-in-law's seat, right? That's my sister-in-law's special seat. Do you dare? Chen Kun immediately said jokingly. Ha ha ha. Chen Dongyan, hurry up and make money. Let me sit in the passenger seat of a Ferrari someday. His girlfriend Xiaoyu said deliberately jokingly. This. Baby, it might be a little difficult. Try to follow the boss's footsteps. Chen Dongyan said to his girlfriend. Hurry up. Whose car are you taking? Chen Kun said. Don't waste time. You guys can catch up later. I'm leaving first. Lin Feng said. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Feng drove Zhang Yuxi away. Then I will definitely take the second brother's car. After all, the third brother's driving skills are still not as good as the second brother's. It's a bit slow. Chen Dongyan said with a look of asking for a beating. Damn it. You have the nerve to complain about my driving skills. Yours is not that good either. Sui smiled and said. Okay. You two are about the same. Let's go. Chen Kun said. While they were still bickering in the same place, Lin Feng had already driven Zhang Yuxi a long way. After driving for about an hour and 10 minutes, everyone finally arrived at the restaurant of the main store. It was almost 3 o'clock at this time, and the small leaders in the restaurant were waiting outside the door for Lin Feng and others to arrive. After all, Lin Feng came in person, and everyone took it very seriously. At this time, the waiters in the restaurant were just busy in an orderly manner. And now there are still many customers in the restaurant. The store manager saw Lin Feng coming and immediately walked up to him. Mr. Lin. Mrs. Lin. Please come in. The store manager said respectfully. Then, Lin Feng led everyone through the employee passage to the office on the second floor. because it would be too obvious if they walked through the store. And some guests knew Lin Feng, and even came for his love with Zhang Yuxi. So, in order to avoid disturbing their delicious food and causing unnecessary commotion, Lin Feng chose to avoid the guests who came. The main reason was that he came here to deal with work matters, not to inspect. But in fact, some guests still noticed it. It's just that Lin Feng didn't show up blatantly, so there was no big commotion. Came to the office on the second floor. The waiter had already prepared good tea and was waiting for Lin Feng's arrival. It's 3 o'clock now. Are there as many guests at this time as usual? Lin Feng asked. Yes, Mr. Lin. Our restaurant has always been like this. It's basically full. The store manager replied. How is the staff allocation now? Is it appropriate? Do we need to add more staff? Lin Feng said lightly. After all, after Lin Feng established a catering company, he rarely came to inspect the restaurants. He basically wouldn't show up unless there was a big problem. He would just leave it to his subordinates to deal with. Mr. Lin, the staff is suitable for now. Generally speaking, there will be more people on weekends or holidays. It's just that there will be a shortage, and it won't be able to cope with it. The store manager said slowly. Then you can communicate with a human resources department. See if you can add some staff. Make sure the service is in place. Lin Feng said. Understood, Mr. Lin. I'll arrange it right away. The store manager said. I won't mention the employee's request anymore. Recruit people according to the standards. You will be in charge of this. Lin Feng continued to say. Understood. The store manager responded. Manager Liu, go and call Chef Wang Wente out to the office. I need to ask him if there's anything. Chen Kun said to the manager. Okay, Director Chen. The manager responded. Then the manager and the waiter went out. Only Raymond Lam, Zhang Yuxi and their friends were left in the office. Chapter 1550, Indispensable. Wife, do you want to go out with him? I may not be able to get well so soon. Lin Feng said gently to Zhang Yuxi beside him. After all, he had things to deal with, and it would definitely not be solved in a short time. Lin Feng was also worried that Zhang Yuxi would be bored if she stayed with him here. It would be better to take advantage of the rare trip here to go out and play with him. In this way, Lin Feng also planned to go back after eating in the restaurant later. 3 or 4 hours is just enough time for them to go around and play. It's okay. Hubby, I'll stay here with you. Just deal with your things. Let them go and play. Zhang Yuxi said. In fact, what she said was also within Lin Feng's expectations. So Lin Feng immediately pretended to be calm and winked at Chen Kun and the others. Let Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends persuade Zhang Yuxi to go out and play together. Because Lin Feng knew that Zhang Yuxi was actually just accompanying him quietly without disturbing him. Zhang Yuxi has always been so sensible. No matter what work Lin Feng was dealing with, he would take Zhang Yuxi with him. Every time, she would accompany him silently behind him. She would never disturb him while he was working. So, this time, he also wanted to take advantage of the fact that his friends were all there, and let Zhang Yuxi go out and relax. Soon, Zhang Yuxi's girlfriends received Lin Feng's signal. They immediately came to Zhang Yuxi's side and pulled her up. Let's go, Yuxi, it's rare for us to come here once, let's go out for a walk. Otherwise, it would be so boring for us sisters. Can we go together? Li Yi said coquettishly. Yes, yes. Let's go together, let Chen Kun and the others pay the bill. We will be responsible for shopping and eating. Suanna smiled and said. Yes, sister-in-law, go with us. We boys will pay the bill. You can spend as much as you want today. The boss is here to deal with the work, and we can come back to eat after we finish. Just right. Chen Kun said immediately. Let's go. Let's go and have fun now. Boss, you have to work hard for a while. Chen Dongyun said with a smile. With so many people persuading her, Zhang Yuxi couldn't bear to refuse. And she knew in her heart that Lin Feng actually wanted her to go out with her friends and have fun. Okay, okay. I'll go out with you. These silly girls can't do without me. Zhang Yuxi said deliberately jokingly. It has to be. The 4 sisters must be together. It won't be fun without you. Li Yi said excitedly. Ha ha ha. One of them is indispensable. Just like playing mahjong. Suanna said deliberately jokingly. Then, honey, I'll go out with him. You're busy first. Zhang Yuxi turned and said to Lin Feng. Yes, go. Have fun. Come back here for dinner later. Lin Feng said with a doting look on his face. Boss, do I need to stay? How about I stay? Chen Kun said. After all, he is now the person in charge of this head office. Besides Lin Feng, he is the biggest manager, and the things that need to be dealt with now are not small matters after all. So as a director, he should really stay. Well, the second brother can stay. You all can go and have fun. Lin Feng said slowly. The main reason why he kept Chen Kun was to connect with the things that will happen later, and he didn't need to explain it to Chen Kun again. Moreover, he is the person in charge of this head office, so he should also participate. Understand the process and results of handling the problem in the end. Okay, boss. Then we'll go. Suhi said. Call me if my wife has anything. Be careful, you guys. Be sure to bring my wife back intact. Otherwise, I'll deal with you too. Lin Feng said to Suhi and Chen Donggyun. Got it, boss. Promise. Suhi and Chen Donggyun said together. And, the third and fourth brother. The task of paying for the girls is now left to you two. Girls are not allowed to pay when they go out this afternoon. Let them two take care of it. Chen Kun immediately said jokingly. Then why don't you transfer the money quickly? Don't leave your share. Girlfriend Su Anna said jokingly. Silly girl, don't cheat your boyfriend. You don't spend it when you have it for free. Chen Kun said with a smile. I think your girlfriend is right. I think so too. Sui and Chen Donggyun sang the same tune. Okay, let's go. If you keep dawdling, it will be dark soon. Xiaoyu reminded from the side. Afterwards, the two took Zhang Yuxi and her girlfriends out for a walk. And Lin Feng and Chen Kun waited in the office for Chef Wang Wentao to come. Boss, how are you going to deal with this? I thought about it last night. I think a pay raise probably won't do much. Chen Kun said slowly. It seems that your brain is still useful. Lin Feng teased. The main thing is that I think the salary is already very good. So raising the salary probably won't help. And the chef's problem is obvious. Chen Kun smiled and scratched his head and said. Indeed. And to be honest, I can give him such a good treatment but he still wants to resign. If we try to keep him on the basis, if we really can't keep him, we will probably forget it according to other companies. But considering the chef's situation, it is really not easy. So I talked to Yuzai last night. Let's try our best to keep him. Lin Feng said slowly. That's true. Although I haven't reached his age and don't have much experience. But with the chef's current situation, it is indeed a bit difficult. On one side is family and on the other side is career. Chen Kun said. In fact, what he said is also the situation of most middle-aged or young people. Many people make a choice between career and family. Few can take care of both aspects. Of course, there are also many people like the chef and his family, who live apart all year round. It's all for life and a few taels of silver. You always have to give up some time to reunite with your family. Most people also miss the birth and growth of their children. This is also the helplessness among many adults. So at Chen Kun's age, of course, he can't deeply understand these. After all, he is only about 20 years old, a college student. He doesn't have too many responsibilities. But Raymond Lam is more understanding, because he has Zhang Yuxi in his heart and loves her. He always wants to be by her side to protect her. So he can't stand being separated from Zhang Yuxi. The reason why Raymond Lam is willing to take out more than 1 million as a down payment to buy a house for the chef is because he appreciates men who are responsible and considerate of their wives. Raymond Lam also values this point, and he is willing to help the chef. After all, the chef has a child who is about to be born. He also understands that the family wants to live together in a happy circle. The main reason is that the chef is also a rare high-level chef. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.